We can't hear you.
Ah, this might be better. Somewhere along the way, my mic got muted. Apologies, viewers. Thank you there. Thank you, Quentin, for bringing that to my attention. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness, I tell you. Amateur hour. I do my best. I do my best. But, yeah, I always do check my audio as well as, you know, yeah, and I was actually going to do that just a moment ago, so I would have figured it out at some point, but thank you. You brought that to my attention sooner than later, because yeah, it should really give me a notification that my mic is muted. But yeah, so once again, welcome viewers, welcome fellow Tenno. This is Wadidja. What did you do? What did you think? What did you enjoy? And here we are for this Warframe video, where I will provide some footage for an upcoming video dedicated and scripted without any, you know, verbal errors or description errors or, you know, just mishaps in regard to describing one thing versus another.
Enjoy this.
Oh, excellent, excellent. I really hope you do. I really hope you do. I'm looking forward to. But yes, is to provide the footage, you know, after I give, you know, the detailed explanation of what you see here throughout my build. And you know, to have some, you know, proof to the pudding. Hey, this is how it's, you know, this is what it looks like. This is what it's like in action without any editing to the footage or scripting of it. As well as this will provide a reference point for the entire footage. You know, if anybody wanted to see what was happening and what all I did with the circumstance. So. You know, this is the build real quick that I'm sort of showing you here, you know, clicking around through, just real quick explanation about it. And, you know, we'll go over to, let's see here. We'll go to the little classic Umbra's courtyard scene capture to that. But yeah, like I said, I'll go ahead and give a quick little explanation of it. I'll go ahead and hold questions if everybody doesn't mind for, you know, the in-betweens of the, you know, various different missions that I'll go through. I'll try to do a survival and defense of some various different levels, you know, steel path, you know, where you can get more of the tougher enemies to demonstrate the survivability as well as the you know, just capability of all that I have to offer for my author Umbra Excalibur here. Yeah, I mean, he's just awesome. So just one of the things I love about the look of it, you know, getting this Zaku's Whisper infested look on him. But yeah, that's part of my role play, just real quick, in that you know, this is another potential author. Not the one that we see as our NPC default author, leader of the Hex. This version had a different path past 1999 in which he becomes an author, Umbra Excalibur, where the infestation took on a different form of mutation for him, in which he has a Zaku Whisper ability in place of the Radial Javelin. But to me, it marries well with the way I like to see the weapons manifest for him. And these infested type weapons here, where it looks like it's coming out of his body, rather than something like the sword here, the Skiajati, with this very excellent Tennogen skin. And, you know, I use the pox as well for that same point of the role play. You know, the way it comes out of his body rather than sitting on him. You can do it however you want with these things and role play it, you know, void pockets within their armor, or, you know, show it however your bag is. But definitely it's just nostalgic to have the sword as well, just showing on the back. And again, the Tenno skin, you know, complements the outfit very well. So, and just for reference, the Nakata undercutter skin that I'm using. So, just real quick here, and you know, if there's any questions regarding this, let me know. And of course, the build video will be coming up with a more detailed explanation of everything, as well as my previous video, which I'll have linked in the description, covers a lot of these things as well. But you know, working with essentially a chromatic build blade build. With this augment here, utilizing toxin damage for the element, okay, as the primary element, and you know, having radiation as a secondary element. All of this coming together with the condition overload to provide extra damage. The toxin comes together well with the Archon continuity, which gives us guaranteed corrosive damage. Okay, on top of that, so now we have 3 elements levying off our condition overload for damage, as well as the fact that Zaku's Whisper here provides a 4th element for void damage, which also too works off of whatever weapon's status chance. And with the power strength being over 200 strength, 200%, with the chromatic blade build, we are getting 132% status chance. So the void energy will automatically proc all the time, and the toxin damage will automatically proc all the time, because that's sort of that's on the weapon itself. And the radiation damage will have a 35.2% chance of happening as well. So without a doubt, you know, and again, the toxin damage, which has a guarantee, gives a second guarantee of corrosive by the Archon continuity. So that's, you know, 4 damage types total, and 3 damage types guaranteed: toxin, corrosive, and void. So, you know, the damage comes through very well, despite the balance that I have for this Omni build, which I also before the Omni form, I called it my universal build, my anytime, any place build, to deploy my Umbra Excalibur author here anywhere, anytime, and should require very little adjustment if need be for extenuating circumstances. But that's the beauty of having the Omni Forma for, you know, our builds now. You know, we have these polarities where we can go ahead and put any type of mod in here to suit whatever the occasion, and that's what I did last broadcast. I finished all of this here, which is just scrumptious. And what we also too are using here is some, you know, extra energy here to provide extra benefits in regard to our Archon shards, which will give me, let's see, where is it? Which one is it that gives me the extra energy? No, it's not extra energy. Right. Melee critical damage when max energy is over 500 is what that's helping me do, as well as give me energy when I'm in missions where energy is cut in half or reduced for whatever reason. That gives me more energy to boot. But with this stat here, giving us, oops, hold on one second. I think I have 500 and energy
The
is
Octopus Mermaid Warframe will look like HP Lovecraft Cholo. I'm still thinking what kind of name for her.
right on, right on. Yeah, follow those ideas and submit them. Definitely, definitely. But yeah, this episode, we want to try to keep things focused on the Q&A regarding the build or any particular questions you may have towards the build in relationship to what's going on. But I love hearing your ideas. Don't get me wrong. And if I have some time at the end, if it's something you want to chip in on that, please, your ideas regarding other things, please do so. And definitely the comments, are there too as well. For you to share. But yeah, I really do appreciate what you have to offer for that. But yeah, looking forward to you telling me about you submitting your information, your ideas. But yeah, so the energy is actually at 641. And again, like I said, when I do this build video, everything will be scripted and dedicated, so there won't be any let me see type stuff. Let me go back and forth. But the other important point to note, seeing that I'm covering a bit of the Archon shards now, the Tau Forge here, Emerald Shard gives me health back with my damage, my toxin damage on enemies from any ability that has that inflicts toxin damage. And of course, the Exalted Blade is such a thing. I have my energy efficiency up to 160%. Which is near max. I think it's 665% is the max you can have for energy efficiency, and that allows the Exalted Blade to stay out long, hard, and strong all the time, as well as allow me to really use the benefit of the other abilities of Slash Dash and its invulnerability and closing the gap and distance to the enemies, as well as the Radio Howl, disabling sentient aspects and of damage and their damage immunity, as well as blinding enemies to inflict more damage. And of course, being able to use Aku's Whisper at will, and keeping the Exalted Blade out. So energy efficiency and energy maintenance is extremely important, life or death, 100%. But that's the reason why also to you.
Transforming Warframe named Overlord. He's fully aware, unable to be controlled by operator, but in the mission when you kill him or if you.
Right. Oh, okay. You're referencing your story, your ideas and concepts. Cool. Nice. Like I said, polish it up, get it honed. Let's save some of those till the end of the episode if I have time, because I do have to take care of my son today. I do that every day, stay-at-home dad. So time is a bit limited right now today. Don't have, and like I said, last broadcast went on way longer than I thought. It was like over 7 hours. So want to keep it short and compact. So like I said, love your concepts, but yeah, work with me here just a little bit. Because like I said, I want to try to keep this focused, and also to my gameplay during the missions, I want to stay focused to really make sure I have my strategy, skills, and tactics, on time, because you can't really mess up. In my opinion, things tend to suffer. You can recover from the point, but it's like I want to stay focused to have a good example for. A small segment that I will place with the build video that's dedicated to all this. All right, appreciate it. But yes, I'll take a moment in between too to take Q&A regarding anything, just a little bit of time. But yeah, hold the questions outside of the point of the video to the end if I have time. But definitely I'm always here to listen and enjoy what you have to offer. Like I said, you can throw some stuff into a comment or two. Like that last video, if it's not something that comes to mind, you can always put a comment there, because that references all of your ideas, at least I think, as far as what you're referencing. So there's that too. And you can always add a timestamp to your comments to reference the point. You can use the comments of the video to navigate through it, and I have timestamps, for the areas where I knew we were having a focused discussion or talk about the concepts and ideas. So definitely use that other video as a launch pad for comments or things that come to mind, and that way everybody else can reference the point too. and we can stay focused on this video too. Yeah. So the Arcane Nullifier is really good for maintaining,
Yes.
keeping your energy, keeping your energy in case you get hit with like an ancient disruptor that wants to take your energy away. And there's other stuff that might try to do that too. But maintaining energy is essential for my build, my Omni build, for my anytime, any place build. And, that also too ties in real well with Hunter Adrenaline, which is going to give you energy on damage on your health by 45%. So, getting energy off of damage is important. Then also to recovering that health through from a distance with the Archon Tau here, giving 3 extra health per enemy each time an enemy is damaged by toxin. And then also to having this Tau Forge Azure or blue shard giving me 7-point health regeneration as well is excellent on the levels of survival. It makes a difference. I mean, it's not going to save your life necessarily if something unexpected happens that's monumental. But at the same time, if everything's on par, you're in the zone with it, like you'll hopefully see me do, it will come through like a charm. Also, too, when you're trying to get out of a survival, if there's some type of energy drain, after the life support dies out, and certain missions do respect it too when there is a life drain, like in the Netrocells, for example, in the different modifications they have with that. So yeah, it comes in handy quite a bit. And then, like I said, I mentioned here with this Tau Forge giving me double critical damage because my energy is over 500%. It's just excellent. These here are for ability strength to get my ability strength above 200%. And also to use Archon Fury to give me critical hit, 6% chance, on a critical hit, 6% chance at 100% melee damage. And essentially we are working with about 56.3% critical chance. So that's slightly over half of everything that I'm doing with the Exalted Blade is going to give me a critical chance. So that they tend to stay procced all the time as far as my Archon Fury is concerned. And of course here, as far as the Exalted Blade, like I said, condition overload with the toxin and radiation damage. It seems to go well. Radiation, like for the Murmur, for example, they don't like it. A lot of other enemies don't like it. And just in general, to make enemies want to attack each other, which is good for an aspect of survival too. Also, to the void damage from the Zaku's Whisper will cause enemies to bullets to attract to an enemy as well. So it's there are some nice little built-in survival quirks or tactics that kind of are there if a given with what I have going on. But also 2 life strikes in here to return health from a melee attack, heavy melee attack when needed, which works well with this guaranteed aspect of opportunity from the Tennokai every 4 hits. And the Exalted Blade gives off a radial slash that is extremely powerful against enemies now with a heavy hit. And then of course the melee heavy hit melee slam gives excellent damage and return to health 2 through life strike. And so, like I said, this melee animosity works well with my heavy attacks, gaining 42% critical chance on the next heavy attack, up to 420%. So that comes really lovely. And of course, some Arcane Prime Fury to keep up our attack speed constantly. Other aspects of attack speed benefits, you have to build up to them. Like I think with like Berserker Fury, it stacks up. I like the constant maintenance and just guaranteed. I know what it's doing all the time. Of the attack speed there. And then also too on the Natarok, what I have is Amalgam Serration, which gives me an extra 25% sprint speed to keep my movement a little bit faster than base, which I seem to find is beneficial, even just keeping up with the team and just general movement all the way around. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up what's mainly being used here. The Nadaruk, it's really just for the fact that I would like to carry a primary weapon in the event that I need it. And, so that will be covered in the build video too, but here are the mods, nothing outrageous about it. Use primary merciless here, hush to keep things quiet, because like I said, my Omni build, loadout anytime, any place, so I can do stealth missions, whatever it is, also to reduce aggro. But this is also to provide extra elements beyond what I typically am using for my Exalted Blade build, to put in extra damage for like the condition overload, or just to weaken the enemies in the event that what I have going on with the toxin, the corrosive, as well as the void and the radiation isn't doing what it needs to do. This here for the pox, I'm looking forward to getting the Coda pox, but right now you're using this regular pox, which I like, to just put in a nice pepper of electrical gas damage if I want some extra damage of another type against the enemies. Nothing too out the way with what's going on with it, but using the cascaded empowered here as far as their arcane, and some galvanized mods also too to help that out. Let's see, and the Skiajati, of course, like I said, it's a melee focused build, and I can go with other aspects, but again, like the mod here for the Archon continuity. Wait a minute, 1 second here. This toxin damage works off of an ability during doing toxin damage. The Skiajati is an ability, so having a different type of damage for the event that the Exalted Blade has been disabled by, say, a acolyte or whatever, then slash and viral tend to be real nasty on health for enemies, which is great. But I have other variations of this too in case something else may be needed or wanted. But shattering impact to reduce armor, and the extra slash and the viral damage, life strike, of course, to return health. Definitely because the heavy attacks are utilized and very beneficial. Extra critical damage and wind up speed there, and the critical chance here from sacrificial steel, and damage from the pressure. So yeah, putting out 71.3% critical chance, so that's pretty decent. I haven't had any issues. Plus too, I do like the passive of the Skiajati to turn invisible on finishers. Again, another tactic for various different situations where I may need a breather or just want to stay cloaked, in case I do not use other aspects of my loadout for however I may be a setup. I mean, I like to make sure that my Warframe is doing the damage, period. I take benefit to my operator and Xeneric when it comes to the let's see here, the Xeneric school, for making sure that energy is available as much as possible to gain energy when I need it. Also to provide, like, this passive here where using ability allows abilities to be cast without using energy or shields, but requires 6% recharge. So there are some really nice benefits to Xeneric, because like I said, energy is key in my opinion for the way I utilize my build, more so than the other schools. And of course I have all the passives unlocked as well to benefit that. But of course all my schools are leveled all the way up. Everything's unlocked in case I do need to make a switch at any point in time for some particular extra circumstance that I might want to tie in with the optional builds that I'll perfect now that I have all the Omni polarization set on my loadout, on my build. And I'll come out with a future video as far as options to my Omni build loadout here, beyond what I tend to prefer for that anytime, any place circumstance. So I think that's a good summation of everything, quickly detailed, and hopefully that didn't take too long. Like I said, I'll have a scripted version of all this when for the next video. So yeah, so without further ado, we will go ahead and jump on into a mission. If there's a question, do let me know what might be coming to mind, and I'll give another little welcome viewers. And we'll go ahead and
welcome viewers.
We'll go ahead and build up our intensity for the situation here. And let's see, do we have incursions? Looking at the enemy level, and we do need some ducats from prime parts as well for borrow. Well, the digital pack allows us to get anything we want from him during the point of the TennoCon thing. And by the way, I don't know if for those that might get that TennoCon ticket with borrow, I think his situation extends. I don't know. The details about how long he'll be there will be announced, but hopefully people who do attend TennoCon will have an opportunity to visit him. So yeah, so we do have a survival here in the Orokin, the Void, which will work. We got about 3 minutes to jump into that. And there's a murmur survival for another hour. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. Let me put us on solo. And right. Okay, deep breath.
Operator, Ordis is picking up a distress signal.
Yeah, I have not done like extended aspects of sort of say build testing and endurance pushing with this build in a minute, and there's been some positive improvements to it just by the updates in the game, and we'll hold on to the shard radiant for the refinement. Okay, and so it'll be good to really get some good footage in with that and put everything to the test. But yeah, so I'm gonna cease my jibber jabber. Oops, I hit the wrong button there.
The art of combat must be practiced to truly
my bad.
the
Hit the wrong button. Almost nervous. Let me take some deep breaths here.
Area. Use these to crack open a relic.
Give us a yell when you're ready.
And I probably should have made sure that everything was set the way it needed to be before I did this. But yeah, I may put some stuff down for some energy or gain some energy real quick. But the way the build is set up, I'm able to just run into combat and just whip booty because, of the way I can gain energy from damage and recover health pretty much simultaneously. From a distance, which is just great as long as I have enemies to attack. That's the reason why, like I said, the Archon shards of the Azure one, the Tower Forge, gives me 7.5 energy per second, is beneficial because if there's a split moment in between where I'm not attacking, not getting health back with the Emerald Tower Forge, and giving me health from the toxin damage, is all from a distance, or I have a moment before I can give a heavy melee attack of some kind to get health through Life Strike, that Azure Shard is very helpful. as far as like.
What percentage of usage do you have on all Excaliburs in total?
Oh, since day one, my friend, and welcome, Crypto, welcome. You know, I have been an Excalibur main since 2015. You know, and you know, yes, I've used other Warframes, leveled them up. I have a couple of, you know, some of them, you know, min-max to whatever degree in the way that I may have used them. Some I've actually used to help just make like a master rank test a little easier. But all in all, I've used Excalibur 72.2% of the time. And let's see. As far as, and then in 2018, of course, when Umbra came out, I used, you know, I switched over to Umbra to be my main as, you know, of course. Where is Umbra? TUV, it should be after U, right? Or is it listed as Excalibur Umbra? Where is he at in here? Here he is. So yeah, 72.2% of the time of Excalibur, and then add 13.7% of my Umbra time to that, and that's my time spent as an Umbra main. So we're looking at, what is this? 9, and then 5, and the 85.9% of the time of my gameplay. Okay, let's see here. Since I began playing back in 2015, and to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure if this is my complete total hours since 2015, because they did an update to everything in which I don't know if it compensated for all my time since 2015. But this right here is registering 3,857 hours of time I've put into this game and my enjoyment of it. So yeah, good question. Yeah, it's a beast. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and focus on the gameplay. I appreciate and would look forward to all the comments and questions. I'm going to give some time in between the missions to address various different things, so I can stay focused in combat, because like I said, I want to give a good showcase of, you know, this Omni build here, and just anytime, any place, and how effective it is, despite not having, say, bragging rights for, you know, power strength, or bragging rights for how much crit damage it's doing one way or the other. And which reminds me, I want to go ahead and increase the, let's see, right, the damage numbers, you know, opacity scale. Just bring up the scale so you can see the numbers just a little bit more.
Caught a stream grinning face with sweat.
Dragonilgo Dreamy, welcome, fellow Tenno. I'm glad you're here too. Thank you. See, I'm gonna bring these damage number scales up a bit so folks can see what's going on a little bit more clearly. I don't really worry about what the damage is per se. It's more like, am I doing damage to the enemy? Is it effective? Are they dying instantly or quickly? That's what's important, just to make sure, because I'm multitasking in all this, and it's like, but how much damage? I'm not sweating the point. Is it effective? Is it getting the job done? You know what I'm saying? Are they going home limping back? Yeah, you know, or not at all? Yeah, that's what's up. So that's what's up
shut
with
down
this.
all systems.
And hopefully those
life support capsules your way.
damage numbers are.
You found a fissure. Look out for reactant.
Effective enough. What was that?
I took one to the side.
Hold up. Still working on the point of this. What did I? What just happened? Oh, okay. My bad. The Kubro went down.
They're dropping reactant. Use it to crack open a relic.
And that threw me off for a second. Yeah, I used the Kubro for
Rats. Sticky hands Dragons in shrieking voices.
For cloaking aspects, when it comes to making sure that
prepare for life support.
I can have a breather, or I need to navigate through something. And again, I'm talking, so I'm messing up here, which is expected. And then also too, you can see just how quickly I will die. But aspects of the
I've delivered
let's see, hold on.
life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more
Yeah,
time.
aspects of my gear is important too. Having the specters if I need them, having health and energy drop.
I give you a lot of respect. I'm also an Excalibur man, but I only have rank 16. But I have 91.4% on I'm also an Excalibur. And 8.2% on regular Excalibur. I really want to make the percentage of Umbra 99.9.
Yeah, you have to play for a long time to make that happen. On top of the time you've already dedicated to Excalibur, but bravo. I love hearing it. Yeah, I mean, it's, with 60-some other Warframes, or, we're 59 other Warframes, there are a lot for people to choose from, which is fantastic. But the general consensus about Excalibur tends to be that, why do you use Excalibur? There's always some better Warframe that you can use, and blah, 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 blah. But, my passion was Excalibur from jump. You know what I'm saying? That's what brought me to the game. I've been a big fan of the Autheria Legend. And, when I found out about this game and I was like, oh, you get to be the sword? Oh, we are in this to win it. And so, yeah, I've been enamored since the beginning. So, yeah, I'm going to try to focus a little bit more here so I can get my flow back, because we want to build the intensity up, whereas we can take on some of the higher level missions, like in 1999. They tend to be a lot more more difficult, and like I said, want to put on a good show of the point. But yeah, utilizing the Tenno in this way is very helpful for various different things.
Life support on the way.
But if I did things properly, then I could use my Heros to cloak me to do a revive of a particular situation, or even activate the life support if I need it. And I like to use the Vasca too when if I'm in missions where I can't use.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Oh shoot, I'm messing up. Where I can't use my
Roger.
What was I saying? I'm talking and trying to stay focused on what's up at the same time, and that's not going too well.
Moving on.
I kind of forgot what I was saying.
You are running out of time. Our operative is making progress. This will help our cause.
I forgot what I was stating, and I don't think this went very well. Yeah, so this mission didn't go well. But yeah, I'll do this one again. Because like I said, I'm talking, trying to get myself back together with this here. So like I said, let me not talk. Let me... let me say certain things for in between the missions. And, wait, now, did it keep my relic? It should keep my relic.
Show your build, please. Very interesting.
Yeah, just slide back a little bit in the footage. I went through the build and discussed it.
These foes deserve your respect. Honor them with
Lucky.
deaths.
I can't show the build here, but I covered things and discussed things there, and then also too in my previous video I went through things. And again, this video is going to be for the point of a dedicated and scripted build video. Okay, so everything will be covered in mad detail, with without any ums and buts, and like I said, I'll have everything written out, and it'll be well condensed and well organized, and also too, hopefully I can provide some excellent footage from this gameplay here. But yeah, definitely already covered that.
They're trying to choke you out.
Kind of on a limited time here for the day, so
Do not even start. Ta-ta.
So yeah, I have like about 2 hours or 3 or so, something like that, to be able to give to this. So like I said, let me go ahead and focus, because this level of gameplay doesn't compromise as far as what all is going to happen and how I have to maintain focus for the point. Because I need to multitask my health, my abilities, as well as the objective. And if things aren't done properly, this is what happens. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is not. I don't appreciate that. Like I actually don't like dying in the game. So I do what I can to prevent that, while not relying on certain things that do change throughout the game, like how much how many shields you have, whether shield gating is going to work a particular way or not, overguard, like those things are beneficial and helpful, but then you run into a mission where that isn't helpful, and then you don't know what to do to really rely on the point or not. But it is interesting how, like, I've noticed so many different adjustments throughout the game's life where certain things that you would think would work or used to work don't really work. And that can be very off-putting. As well as the damage types and the enemies change, where you're sitting there going, what the heck hit me? I never saw a single thing. Like, in trying to interpret what's going on can be painful. And you're sitting there going, like, I know I did the right thing, or what hit me? I have no clue. So yeah, let me focus here.
Life support incoming.
You'll see that I utilize all the different types of melee attacks as well, and typically don't go to the operator unless I absolutely have to for life return with the Magus Elevate. That is also part of the build as well. And I do have an Arcane in it to allow to make sure that I can always transfer in and out of my Warframe in case I need to, similar to how I have the Arcane to make sure, Nullifier, to make sure magnetic procs don't take my health away. So hopefully the damage numbers are kind of big enough I typically, like I said, keep them small enough just to know that I'm inflicting damage, but not worried about how much, as long as I'm doing what's effective. But yeah, having things set up like this allows me to utilize all the abilities and the versatility of Umbra.
Would it be possible for me to join your clan despite only being on the Railjack quest?
Yes, you can join my clan. I have a shadow clan. Hold on. I have a shadow clan, and there is space available. Send me a friend request, and then we can take it from there. I'm rank 11 with my clan, and I have all the research. The only thing I don't have is a few colors. That's it. Also, I offer excellent benefits for clan members as they achieve certain stages within the master rank. And again, I'm not focused as I need to. But yes, send me a friend request. Here is my profile. We found out last episode when I did an Omni Formal Bundle giveaway that you'd want to send a request with a lowercase W. Keep everything lowercase. So it's WADIDJA #018. And then, like I said, we'll take it from there. But yeah, let's try to save questions for afterwards and let me stay in the zone. But yes, looking forward to it. Another clan member. Fantastic. Looking forward to it because my wife's a clan member and I have another clan member join not too long ago. That I met through.
My user is Dragonilgo, by the way.
All right, definitely looking forward to it. And but yeah, I used to have a mountain clan. I used to have a huge clan. A lot of folks came and went, did their own thing. You know, you'll like the gifts that I give when it comes to certain master rank levels, and because it also ties to the titles that you get when I promote you in the clan. So, like one of the other clan members, I was like, what do you want? You want to,
I used to be in a Black Templar.
Oh, yeah. Or as far as the clan or the outfit, because Templar outfit is a good one. But yeah. We'll talk more about that. But yeah, you know, like I said, Kubro, Lotus Prince, you know, I do offer as far as like a reward just for certain stages. And now the only thing is, like, when it comes to something like that, I'll trade it to you just for like a pump mod, you know, something stupid. But you know, I would want you to get a genetic template and then trade it back so that another clan member can enjoy that reward as well. But I got the biggest bulkies. I got stuff, and you know, I have like I try to keep extra prime parts too, because like I said, the last clan member, he decided not to go with a Lotus Huros and decided to go with a Vault Prime. So that's the kind of thing I do. You know what I'm saying? Just giving the love, showing appreciation for the time and effort, you know, and you know, enjoyment of having a clan member. So okay, let's get back to it. Like I said, let's save for the in-betweens, and so yeah, let's go. Because I'd like to make this at least somewhat successful. Because this is, like I said, just the first stage.
Our operative is making progress.
To the intensity that I want to give to the examples of things. And I'll stay in these missions for like 20 minutes. Just to, you know, get the levels of the enemies up to a certain point. You know, I typically don't stay in endless endurance missions past, you know, like 20 minutes. It just doesn't, it's not really worth the time necessarily. But I do sometimes when like group play, and you know, when I'm really just testing the extreme limits of my build, I will push the envelope. But right now, just want to have some good examples of the point. Yeah, putting in a radial blind before doing some things is helpful because, you know, they can take advantage of you in that split second. But having energy efficiency is great for the radial blind slide attack. I mean, yeah, spin attack.
Cheerio.
Using your environment too to your advantage is very helpful. Like I said, a lot of times people will show their build stuff and show you some gameplay, and I'm like, do you know how many ways you'd be dead? You know what I'm saying? If the situation wasn't right, and what you know, they just don't talk about how the interplay of everything has to come into play, including something like using your environment to your advantage, and making sure that you're not at a disadvantage with your environment. You know, sometimes people use, you know, the game to cordon them off and to herd them to a particular place. I typically don't necessarily rely on that, but you know, that aspect is helpful too. But yeah, I'm, like I said, and like I said, I'm showcasing this as well as much as possible without using gear. But something like this, where Vor would come out, I might go ahead and put down some restores. You know, or in case like an acolyte comes out or whatever, just to give me that extra buff to my situation. You know,
let it be known, if the Tenno wants true salvation, they will lay down their arms. This death is temporary. My existence is forever. I cannot be destroyed.
Yeah, half the time I'm looking at the map. I'm actually fighting with my peripheral vision because there's just so much to navigate.
Zone is hot. Watch yourselves.
Yeah, we'll try to do this for another 10 minutes. And hopefully I didn't already revive enough where if something happens I lose out on my reward.
Target is down.
Yeah. Taking advantage of the fact that okay. See, I did that wrong. I should have went into the my operator form and put that down just to make sure I had that extra cushion. I mean, the last gasp is okay, but
just found. They could not do this without you.
I don't know. The way I have things set up, I'm not really doing a lot of damage with my operator to really make that worth it on higher level tough stuff. But you know, it's there. It's there. So yeah, I should have went into, like I said, my operator form, put down the restore rather than trying to navigate that. But yeah, as you see, that radial blind is necessary to give yourself that moment to do whatever you're going to do when you're not leveling out its attack, because they will take advantage every freaking second that you do not have something going on, and will, you know, strategically surround you to attack you in every position possible. And, oh, shoot. Okay. Let me go ahead and head on out here because I don't want to miss out on my reward. Cloak me, my friend. So yeah, that's where the Huros comes into play very nicely with these types of survivals, so that I can exit quickly without having an issue. Of course, I could transfer. Where's the exit? Out of my Warframe with my operator as well.
Out of time.
But there are certain missions that you might have where you cannot
Just remember where you parked me.
transfer
Life
or
support activated.
use your operator, in which case, you know, being able to have something like the Huros cloak you when you're around enemies is beneficial. But yeah, like I said, still getting my flow back, but I think you're seeing the point of how I roll. I guess it didn't re-equip my relic from last time. Whatever. I would have needed to re-equip my relic. But yeah, if there's a question real quick, if anybody has one, go ahead and ask. Okay, we got the friend request. Excellent. Communicate. Friends. Request. Here we go. Dragonilgo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Hopefully I am. Dragonilgo. Welcome, fellow Tenno. Accept all. And Dragonilgo. Let's see. Invite to clan. Welcome. Yeah, real quick while I take a moment here to address any questions. My dojo, the way I have it set up, decoration wise, there's no bragging rights per se. I have a few little things that are kind of cool going on, but my devil to the detail was making the structure of the dojo look like it would fit in the structure of the dojo with what we see here. This right here, my entire dojo is laid out like it would fit inside of this, which took a lot of time, care, and dedication, because everything needs to be functional, of course, with lifts and corridors, and well laid out. So, like, if you go to a transporter, for example, and I'm still doing a little bit of reconstruction after we got the addition of a few things, but you'll see the point that from level 0 all the way up to the very top of the navigation, everything is laid out very well and organized for getting around. You're going to use the quick travels too, which didn't used to be there. But the other devil to the detail, so to speak, or the other level of care I've taken in that dojo is to make sure everything is laid out so when you look through a window, you have the same and proper orientation to the outside as well. Because certain rooms like this one, for example, doesn't allow you the ability when you reorient it to make sure that it's facing the view that you have out of the your navigation room here, the observatory. But also too, very conveniently, there's every convenience of the dojo, where there are gardens, obstacle courses as well, which you can run, and I've got 2 different ones where you could actually personalize what you'd like to have in the dojo, so that Tenno, can have as much freedom as they can. And then, of course, I have the, obstacle course where, let's see, is it this one? Yeah, where, it's already preset for you to do your runs through. I have 2 of these as well. And of course, there's dueling throughout the dojo and dark gardens. Also too, like, conveniently, in case you're using a dry dock, there is a dojo, sparring room in the off to the side of the dry dock. You know, for people, you know, when you're coming through with a team or whatever, you just want to blow off some steam or just show off a particular thing or two. But yes, a lot of really excellent conveniences, and everything is really well laid out, as well as you know, you have your trading and everything like that. Really well laid out. The, you know, let's see, no, not that one. Right. So yeah, the level 6 has pretty much every main thing that you need to use as far as your labs. There's one or two kind of spread out, but just kind of catered to just the environment and the way it looks. Like, for example, like I said, level 6 has your Temple of Honor, you know, where, you know, we have the clan trophies from various different events spread throughout. It's a little dark and seedy, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I like the effect, and also to the way the lights on the characters show up. But, you know, there's definitely trophies from clan events, which I've participated in throughout the years. And, you know, we have the, you know, 2 Kleet Kuba Lich areas for trading. Like I said, the all of the, you know, labs, you know, rather centralized to go to from this grandest hall here. And
way to a dojo, very nice.
Thank you, fellow Tenno. Thank you. I put some time and effort in it. Trust me. So, like I said, it's not necessarily a showcase for like, you built this, that. Yeah, it's the complete package. It's form and function, you know, as well as some nice elements of decoration too. And let's see. I also, like I said, I'm working on, because of the new additions to the dojo, I started doing, I created, I don't know if you can see the watermark of the map, because we could have these really cool environments, which looks like you're completely in another part of the galaxy, you know, the origin system. I wanted to create a creative way to implement it in the dojo rather than just have it as a room and you go to it. So what I did was I'm still working on some of the decorations, but I took this room here, and, you know, I had the lights on in certain rooms because I'm still decorating. But here's what I did. I created this thing to make it look like we could have our own portal to different dimensions or areas within the Orokin system. You know, with some of these props here and these decorations here. And then you see this sort of vortex with this gate that I built here take you to these portals. Now, technically, this is in an area of the dojo which kind of goes outward. Okay, so theoretically, what you're seeing here could still fit in the dojo, but it's actually a different dimension or pocket that you're walking through at this point to get through all this. So it's not technically physically a part of the dojo once you leave past this vortex or this portal. But nevertheless, though, in a lot of ways, it can still fit within the structure of the dojo that you see, or, you know, on the outside. So, yeah, it brings you into this Orokin ancient room here, and then takes you into this cool Deviri type situation, and there'll be other energy little portals too to represent that you're going through a gateway. And then, like I said, when you have a lab, for example, that fits the situation, like this one here, you know, it's attached to an area that suits it as well. So I believe this is called what is this one reference? Wait a minute. Bone, decorate, but labs. Yeah, this one is the Dagger's Hollow. Right. And so yeah, that kind of gives you an understanding of that. And then, like, real quick here. Let me see if I can get across. But yeah, I'll be putting in transporters as well to help you get to and from these areas quickly. But off of this Orokin tower, because you have this infested look, you then come into this infested room, you know what I'm saying? Which then leads you into another Orokin tower. And these are all void dimensional gateways that I'll have represented as I showed you before. Which brings you into this room, which is really cool, right? Off of an Orokin tower. And I mean, you can see like these Orokin structures that are, you know, broken and disabled, bringing you to the understanding that it could bring you to that Orokin tower. So like I said, this form and a function. And then I added the... this room here which was really cool, but right, and because it looks like one of these Grineer underwater type things, you know what I'm saying? So there's a gateway that brings you into here from that Orokin type ancient structure, which where is it? There should be a lab in here. Or did I put that someplace else? Hold on. I originally had... Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what it was. I did a reconstruct of this here where I need to put this... I need to put my Orokin lab back in. Wow, my... just been a minute since not Orokin, but Chem Lab. There we go. Chem Lab. The Chem Lab's supposed to be here. My bad. But yeah, I did some remodeling and went off to do some other stuff. Got caught up with the 1999 stuff, so forgot to put that back in there. But you know, I've got mad resources for the dojo. For building and things like that. So, you know, I can go ahead and contribute whatever, fast build something if necessary. Didn't I just do that? Wait a minute. 1 platinum. Contribute. Component can no longer be rushed because cursor. Okay. So yeah, so here's the Orokin, the Chem Lab, which is Grineer based type of a lab. You know what I'm saying? As far as like everything that it offers, and like I said, I thought that would be cool to be built off of this Grineer looking underwater, you know, structure and base type thing. You know, you've got the Grineer tunnel leading into this Grineer lab. So yeah, I'm glad I did this because I had forgot that I accidentally, not accidentally, but changed it or took it out to rebuild.
Can't wait to visit it. DMRW. Have to craft the key. Seems great for roleplay.
Exactly, my friend. That's what's up. Because the roleplay of this game, with everything that they have going on and the way they've implemented with Warframe and the eternalism theory, where there any potential possibility can exist, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. So yeah, so you can see how the watermark, everything kind of comes in a rather compact way, so that you can see that it would still fit in the structure of the dojo. And let me see. Right. So yeah, then I have a level with like reactors and things like that to keep everything powered. And then, you know, there used to be the Orokin labs for the solar rail events. So all of that is laid out in a way which makes sense. And see, this room here, which brings you into these huge outer space vista views, which you can change, again, is oriented and everything's set up to look like we're still in the same area of the solar system. But we can change it if you want. But bottom line is, these areas are here too. And then, oh man, there's the Deviri areas too. I should have went there while I was over there. And like I said, I need to set up, there'll be fast travel teleporters too to help us navigate to that. Hold on, let me see something. me try to see if I can get there real quick. Right. So that's, like I said, anything Deviri related would be in the, portal zone area of Deviri. So, you have Dagger's Cave, which is the Deviri thing, and then I have these two nexuses or portals. Again, you see how which bring you into Deviri as well. So, everything, all the cool stuff, in my opinion, as far as the decorations and rooms are available, which is just lovely to enjoy, without a doubt. And what's cool is that when you come out of one of those Deviri portal type things, the map will change to show every single level in the dojo. And as you can see, every single level is stacked and well organized and just laid out so that it would fit within the dojo. Even the dry dock is on the top and positioned in a way like you would actually see in the observation room, or as far as the observatory and navigation. Like I said, everything is laid out in a way where it would fit in this structure, as well as this very top for the observation. Like I said, that's the true pride and joy that I have with my dojo, that I've dedicated my entire time with, as far as like dojo and its function and utility. So yeah, definitely, I hope you get to enjoy it. And like I said, it's I even looked at images where it lays out the dojo. You see the backside of it to know, like, oh, okay, well, I could have my my dry dock sitting just below my observatory, because it's the very peak of it, and then you have the bottom, and you have this structure sort of coming out from it. Oh, okay, all right. The dry dock would be sweet. And then of course there's like teleporters for north, east, west, and south, as far as it's just really north, east, and west as far as the sides of the dry dock. So yeah, that's that sort of condensed story of things to give you a nice orientation to the dojo. And like I said, the clan, and we'll use yourself here as an example. Welcome, fellow Tenno. So like right now, coinciding with the game's lore, as well as how you'll progress throughout your mastery rank. I've got it set up where I believe it's every 5 mastery ranks you'll have a promotion. So that, you start as right rank 5, you should be Guru, rank 10, Sage, and then rank 15, Master rank 15, you'll be Sovereign. In my opinion, once you get Master rank 15, that's a strong foundation and knowledge of the game. You're your own Tenno, in my opinion, being sovereign of yourself within the game. And that's how I've sort of created the titling. Guru, what's going on with the game. Sage, you're starting to have a mastery of things, in my opinion. And then Sovereign, you're your own Tenno, 100%. You can, make your own way on your own, in my opinion, at that stage. And then, you'll have your other 15 master rings to get to true master. But within these, you'll receive a gift for your accomplishments in becoming, a true master, or gaining your mastering. So right now you're at master rank 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you're master rank 4. So your next master rank, it's in 7,134 points. You'll receive a gift of your choice. I'll present various different options. For example, like a Prime Warframe. I've got every breed of Kubro with a Lotus print, genetics, different and also to some different builds too with them. More for like if you wanted to get a Lotus Huros, for example, Lotus print Huros, I have different variations of builds. Now because that was my specialty as far as breeding is concerned, a lot of knowledge on that. But the other ones I made had be slightly limited as far as the build you might get, but you can get a Lotus breed of all the other types of Kubros if you wish. If you want other pet genetics as well, I can hook you up with that. But when it comes to genetics, important note, do not trade it. Use it. Get your genetic template, make the copies, trade it back to me. We'll use some stupid little, easy mod that you got 100 of or something silly, to make the trade so that it doesn't cost you anything. As well as like if you decide to choose a prime for a reward, I'll give you the entire prime set. Just trade me just a basic silly mod. I'll show you what that looks like. Go to the trading point, and there's nobody for me to trade with right now, but
definitely going to grind up MR then.
Yeah. Do that. Let me see. Can I access that here? No, hold on. Let's see. But yeah, so like I said, I've got everything for you of any importance, and I like to think that things are kind of cool as well.
Check your inbox, operator.
To enjoy.
Maybe Ordis will get a message someday.
Items were dropped during your extraction and have been retrieved. Interesting. Oh, it did register my my relic, and it decided to give me this. Oh, cool. Okay, all right, that'll work. But yeah, I wanted to show you what I mean when it comes to trading for a gift. So like stupid mods like this, where you get hundreds of them, an ammo drum, just put that up, and then I'll trade you your gift, and you'll be set. But like I said, with the genetic blueprints, don't mess that up. Make sure you get the genetic template thing. So because the Lotus print for a Kubro is rare, exceptionally hard to get, expensive too when it comes to trading. And I've had some clan members mess that up, and they got booted from the clan, and they ruined it for other clan members. So I had to discontinue that gift for a minute. But the thing is that you get the necessary materials for genetic code. Okay, these things are cheap. It's not difficult. Get a Kubro egg. Use the print to breed your Kubro after it's bred. Use a genetic template at your here. You make your prints for it. You get 2. You have to make 2, and then trade the 2 back to me. Same way we traded with just a pump kind of mod. That's what I would put up to get the prints back. Okay, so that they're available for the next Tenno to receive a reward as well. So if we can keep that honor system going, other people can enjoy it. You'll stay in the clan. You also receive other future gifts as well, because like I said, you have the option for me to choose what gift you might want when you get your promotion. So like you might want a Gemini skin. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind gifting a Gemini skin if you like. You know what I'm saying? They're mad super cool. They're mad super cool. So like, who is it that you were using here? I think it was Saren. Right, you got Saren. So I don't know, if you don't have the Saren skin, you might want a Saren, what is it, right, Minerva. Right, you might want a Minerva Gemini skin with emote. I don't mind gifting that to you. That'd be sweet. You know, if Saren's your main, you know, or whatever your circumstance may be. I'm not sure. Let me just double check. Were you the one that mentioned being? Oh, that's crypto. Okay, right. But yeah, so I think you get the point of that. So let's go ahead and slip on back for another step up the level here for this. Let's see, or at least show another example of how I utilize the build in the gear. So right, let's. I like the Orokin stuff. We'll do a
from the Twitch drop Mal, but she's good, so I'll main her.
Oh, okay. You got the Saren Warframe from a Twitch drop. Excellent. Okay, so you'd like to possibly main Saren. Cool, no worries. Have at it. I mean, it is definitely an exit Warframe to main for sure. But yeah, if you have an idea of a main and one of them might be, have a Gemini skin and you don't have it, I'd love to gift one to you if you'd like for any one of your promotions within the clan. As you achieve the different master ranks. So, like I said, you might want a prime weapon, might want a prime Warframe, might want a nice gift from the market, might want some pet blueprints. So, it's your call. It's your call to enjoy how you may wish.
I'll be right here.
Void Fissures. You need them to open a relic, but are you confident you can withstand their fury?
So yeah, so I'll go ahead and focus here. But what I'm going to do here is I'll show you how I can utilize my different specters to help maintain a defense target. I need to get some more of these ancient protectors, so I rarely use them, but for the purpose of this, I'll show you how I use them. And what's great is that they added the benefit that these specters will, when they deploy them, will match the level of the enemy type. So like they used to not change. Like they don't even come out at a certain look. So I'll throw out a specter like this, make it keep its place. I can also do defense missions.
A Fissure. Defend yourself and use reactant to open relics.
To be able to do this. But yeah, I'll use a health and a shield specter to reinforce each other. And then, lay down some extra damage around the way. The Clem clones are really good for reinforcing that point too.
Corrupted and use their reactant to open a relic.
And we have the Stalker clone too. All right, let me clear some of this out before I. So therefore I can essentially solo things in a way, and then
collected enough reactant to open your relic.
Lay out ground defenses as well, and support for the specters. Where is that? I thought I had. Right, Lancer. There it is. So everybody has coverage.
They're down.
And then of course I have various different force specters as well. And whatever that little thing that Parvos do, we'll wait for him to come up here. But I'm not going to leave my defense here. But yeah, this is how I can solo in the wave itself. Oh, he's gonna run off. Alright, never mind. I'm not worried about the cargo speed right now. Any type of mission in the game, or for example, I'll show you an example of how I can manage an interception the same way. I'll go to the different points, throw down the specters a particular way, and just multitask the point. He should be over here. I must not activate him. Y'all need to come over here. Come on over here, y'all. Okay, stay here. And stay here.
May your desire blossom, thief. And
come over here, get the shields.
Wisdom. Farewell.
Okay. Now where's my Spectre? Did he get taken out, or did he just disappear? Whoa. So,
right. Ablutions and
the only thing is when you have these defense missions where you gotta, it changes levels, that can be a pain. To have to, reposition everybody. But you get the point.
scratch one.
At the very least, if necessary, I can redeploy my Spectres if I have to. Now, that can get costly as far as resources are concerned. But if necessary, I can. And then also too, I have my my crew from the Railjack, but that I can call as well to lay in some extra help and reduce the aggro. Now, I mean, all these types of things could be utilized in missions too. It's just that, like, I don't rely on any of them in normal type missions unless I'm feeling a crunch or I'm doing some extended kind of run of things. Then, you know, I'll put down something else. And
give us a yell when you're ready.
Like I say, we can I have like a Dante set up on one of the 4 Spectres, but it's like one of the more powerful ones in case I want to have that kind of support, but also to just like role playing with this Umbra type force. So, you know. So yeah, this is a good example of how I can negotiate a defense mission solo, so to speak. I mean, not 100% solo because I see something's up somewhere. But yeah, using the different combinations of movements for your melee attacks with your Exalted Blade is really important too. It's rather than just spamming the button. So like holding your block button down, holding your slide button down, depending on what you may be trying to do to get a spin attack off or to levy out a certain combo. Very, very useful. Because certain attacks, and then of course too, if you want to maintain position, that's helpful as well. But like I said, using my Huros to cloak me to see where the enemy is, or when you get surprised like this, is very helpful. And you know, I could go on my operator form for that, but you know, I didn't need to. You know what I'm saying? Is there an enemy somewhere? All right, everybody, let's go. All right. Yeah, so that's how you can work all that out. And why isn't this advancing? Oh, it is. Okay, I was like, is waves advancing? I don't have some kind of weird issue here. But yeah, using the slash dash for mobility, all those things are really helpful if you can't use your operator to void sling, and also to just maintain elements of power, and you know, and not coming out of the exalted blade, then having to recast it, or you know, just you know, if I don't have to use my void operator form, I don't waste the time that whatever it is that's needed to have to go to it, and that's there if I need XYZ from the point of the drifter or the operator. I mean, you still got to manage everything and not but yeah, using the crouch button to hold yourself in position if you need to maintain position is to me critical, because a lot of people think that, oh, I got a melee, you know, build, I gotta run around and hit stuff, and it's like, well, no, you can hold your position too. Just crouch and you're good. You know, because like I said, the defense missions or interceptions, you know, it's just certain times, like, it's just very beneficial to maintain position and not run around. It's kind of weird interference going on.
Target is down.
But yeah, I enjoy what I do, the way I do it very much. Because again, like I said, I get to compensate for various different circumstances. But yeah, that's me using the Magus Elevate, I believe it's called. Where's the enemy? Okay. To bring health back to my Warframe when needed, because there wasn't an enemy around to give me health. And I was like, okay, let me just make sure I catch that real quick. And I didn't want to put out on the health restore. But you know, having some quick buttons to put down certain things are helpful too, rather than going into your gear wheel. You know, I have one set up for energy. Sometimes depending on how I'm feeling or whatever the circumstances, I might go, okay, well, I might want to have health there instead, you know. Which reminds me, I think I might actually do that. Let me switch that back to health. Because I'm noticing that a lot of times that tends to be more the case than energy lately. Like I said, things change. Controller, customize controller. Gear hotkey. I think it's 1. I think. Let me see. And you can find, but if there's a question, do ask. I'll take a moment here to take them. But yeah, like slot 1, right. So that's how you assign to me a hotkey or for just boom, I need this now. Boom, I need this now. Put down some health. So like I said, I always make sure everything's there. Like the large energy stores, they're part of the they're in the Dojo labs to build. A large health restore. You can find these blueprints in various different places. You want your synthesis scanner, which is good. Air support charges, your arc gun, your various different weapons like or vehicles like Arcwing launcher, Necromech, K-drive, the Tommy cycle, the Cave that you get through Deviri. Then my specters. Then of course, like mining stuff, fishing stuff, lore stuff, and then when you deal with the infested, the Fearlock pods are great for attracting and reducing the aggro off of you and bringing them to a concentrated point. The more powerful ones are just more potent for bringing the infested to a particular point, or dealing with the Juggernaut, for example. He's more attracted to that. And then some beacons in case I need to call them, and ciphers for hacks, a location pin, remote observer, glyph, So yeah, so that's my gear wheel, which is of course part of my, my build and loadout, and also to my strategy and tactics when it comes to things. To me, you don't want to skip a beat on any one of these factors when it comes to being a proficient player. Or maximizing your potential of your build, plain and simple.
You have remembered well
so
how the Tenno arm themselves.
There's that, and I always keep something cooking in a foundry. I always keep a mad stack of stuff depending on if I run into a vent, for example, which is really to the point where can't get out of the vent in some mad endurance run, and I need plenty of it. So I keep 600 on stock when it comes to energy shields, ammo, whatever, what I'm saying. I've been building up my stock on this Stalker Spectre because it's a reusable blueprint, which is awesome. In case I need to put down a whole bunch for whatever the reason. So yeah, that's what's up. That is what's up. Keep your ciphers, plenty of those. Air support charges. I have it right now set for the air support charge for the all-seeing eye thing, the Orokin eye, so that I can detect or find things easily, through the environment. I find that really helpful. But yeah, we'll slide on over to the Dormant Zone, give another view or different base of operations, and then let's see. Isn't there a navigation? Oh. There is a navigation, but it's not in the Dormant Zone, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm still looking to figure out what all I may want to do for decorations here, but here's my little other role play aspect where this is other potentials of the hex. This is a earlier form of Arthur on his ascension to being the Umbra that you see here. Notice there's little differences in the mutation of his skin, but yeah, this is when they became their sort of Black Watch. But yeah, it's little subtleties, all of it to me, in my opinion, catering to roleplay, and of course the beloved Lady Eleanor, but she is this here is another possible potential of the Eleanor that our Drifter is in a relationship with. Like I said, this is actually the technical sister of this other potential author. Same over here. Like I said, this is just an earlier guise of him as he, became all black, Umbra, the dark. But yeah, so yeah, just little subtleties in my roleplay things I like to do. But I thought there was a navigation here. There is, but I think it's on the Chrysalis, is it? Is there navigation on the Chrysalis? Can't remember. I typically don't use it like that. But I love the imagery in the game. Absolutely exquisite. I remember when I first started playing Warframe, my wife was like, "This looks like an expensive game." I was like, "It's free to play." But yeah, they say ninjas play for free. I consider myself a samurai. I do pay from time to time, and don't mind
dream again. I'll
supporting the cause and the Zerming navigate. Oh, this is just going to take you to.
I think you'd have liked me back when I was human. Oh,
two different missions on the Zermings. Yeah, so you don't have a system navigation there. That makes sense. Okay. But yeah, so you do have your 1999 basic operations where you can navigate from, and of course the dojo, the Lasset itself, or the drifter camp. But yeah, that Eleanor that you saw was another potential.
Do you ever wonder how many laws we're breaking just by being together?
Not lady.
I love you.
That we have here to enjoy. The NPC Eleanor. But yeah, so let's go ahead and seeing there's no questions. Let me see. Let me save some of that footage. That wasn't too bad as an example of what's up. Just trying to see if there's a interception. Syndicate stuff. Yeah, another thing, part of my role play within the game was to I think you can see here, balance the equation with all of the syndicates so that none of them chase me. My wife's good at math, so she helped me figure out, just how much to do and just how little to do in a way to actually have all the syndicates. I'm cool with all of them. I walk the gray path, that middle line between both. I keep this balance too as far as my role play when dealing with quests. But yeah, it's a thrill to play the game with that kind of level of role play, in my opinion, for myself, because it suits the way I live my life and keeping things balanced. But yeah, that's what's up with the syndicates. But yeah, just trying to see if there's a decent interception to sort of do nightmare stuff. Energy drain, low moon. What is this? Steel path incursions. Yeah, I don't see one. There, let's see. Where is? There is. Like, they used to have these dark sector missions, but they were called dark sector missions, where you deal with the infested all the time. But I think they added all that to Deimos, if I'm not mistaken, where you use your keys to open up the vaults. And these can be pretty tough. I thought there might be a interception mission over here. Let's see one. Interception. I wish we could just... okay, here's an interception mission. Here, we'll just do one of these real quick to show the point. Steel path. But yeah, the other thing too, real quick, the name of the clan is called Invictus, which takes from the poem of William Ernest Henley, where part of the line was that, you know, your head may be bludgeoned and bloody and bludgeoned and bloody, but unbowed. And the way of your unconquerable soul. And I thought that suited the I don't know, the gameplay, the aspect of the Tenno very well. It's also something I apply in my life. But yeah, Invictus is the name of the clan. Clan Invictus. Oh, I forgot I switched it to the health thing, whatever. And like I said, we'll toss out Vector. And like, you know, whatever point you initially start it tends to be
Jaffa. Moving on.
The one where they'll kind of focus on.
Zone is hot.
The enemy has all 4 towers. You must stop them.
How so? Yeah, this might not go as well as I would like it to. We'll see. They already got an advantage on this point. Normally I can negotiate this here a lot better. With a better start. But this is still a path too, and they can be very aggressive. And once you lose the advantage, it does not go well. So this might not be the best. And see, they're already on this. I don't think I'm going to be able to successfully do this one. But yeah, yeah, I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to do this. I don't even know for the last time I did a interception solo on Steel Path, to be quite honest with you. But you get the point of the attempt. Yeah, this is just kind of silly. As to how many. I mean, yeah, I can't even get off this point. I can't even get off this point.
The enemy has all 4 towers.
Yeah, this is not gonna happen. This is fucking not gonna happen. But yeah, you know, there is a strategy and tactic that you can use to be able to do these solo. I can't really recall the last time I did a solo version of this. But, you know, essentially you just gotta get around to the different points. And
the enemy is dominating. You must
and take over enough of them before they get the advantage like this. I should have went to the other ones first and then went back to the one that they took over. initially. I think that would have been the better way to do
a radio tower.
And then of course being able to get to in front of them fast enough is the other kicker. So once you can get your rhythm set for maintaining them and having them taken over, you're good. But if you lose the edge on it, it doesn't work. Of course, getting to and from all of them fast enough.
Have taken a tower.
So yeah, we lost this one.
The enemy is dominating. You must capture a tower, and
quickly. Well, it's over.
The enemy have decoded the message. You have failed in your mission.
But yeah, let me see if I can try this one more time. I doubt that it's going to go well. We'll see. But yeah, if I can get to the towers fast enough, then getting the initial rhythm set in the beginning is what's most important too. Like if you can't get that,
your weapons
then
make music.
It's just
and
kind
the
of
enemy
it's just
calls for a song.
Doo-doo.
Takes care of that.
Conflict already? Yeah, see, that's that full bullshit. Like I said, the Huros cloaking me is helpful. The base in and of itself is going to create a certain amount of aggro.
Tower captured. Beginning stream decode now.
Regardless, you know, different maps in the way they're set up for the interception helps too.
This tower is ours now. Tower lost.
But like I said, this is still path, so they're very aggressive.
You have captured a radio tower.
Hostile contact. Engaging.
Yeah, learn using the crouch method to...
Tower online. The enemy have captured a tower.
You know, different builds too would help for this. Like if I had a range build with my a radial javelin, I could kind of keep everything stun locked as well.
The enemy have taken a tower.
That would be the benefit of.
The enemy is dominating. You must
I'm not going to be able to accomplish this. Yeah, it's best to have a ranged radial javelin build. Where is the enemy? Yeah, so this is not going to work out. I think you get the point of it. But I don't have an optional range build set up.
Down you go.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well.
Leave it out.
Through the window. Yeah. We'll leave this be. But you get the point. It can be done. It's best to have, like, for Excalibur, radial blind and range build, which I don't even know if I have set up. Yeah, I don't have it's like a defensive build for extra, to take extra damage, power strength build. I was messing with this, just a regular blind build in place of the Howl for like role play. I was experimenting with this Wrathful, and this Capacity one is just for like stealth missions or something like that. If I'm fucking around with that, but yeah, I'll probably take out this Wrathful and put in a range build in here, in some kind of good way. Where say the chromatic blade aspect isn't as critical, or like, so like I said, I'll have another video where I demonstrate elements like that, but like basically I would put in, and you see, I would probably be, so I'm not running around meleeing all the time. So I do something like, you know, put in an overextended, you know, if hopefully I'm in a situation where I'm not running around meleeing things. I would probably do a and it would not be a chromatic blade build, you know what I mean? So depending on what's up, you know, I may have to add in some more power strength, depending on like the range that I might want to use, because, you know, this takes out like my power strength because of that situation. I might not need, you know, max energy, for example. You know, I might not need efficiency, or the chromatic blade build. The toxin aspect might not even be an issue either. You know, I'm just saying, for example, like I'm not giving this all of the attention that I may need for the point, but you know, to me, a range build to deal with a interception solo, or just to be effective for a team, for example, you'd want to have you know, mad power strength for it, and so you know, you just wouldn't want to compromise the point to try to maximize the aspects of the strength, you know, versus like efficiency, because, you know, hopefully you're in a situation where you could put down extra.
I'm going to ask my parents now.
Power. Oh, for the Warframe forum thing? I think that's what you're referencing. Okay, so I would want to put in this Archon. Oh, I can't do it. Okay, cool. So I can't use this intense Archon Intensify because of this. Ain't that a bitch? But see, I could take that out and put it in and just sacrifice the umbral aspect. Right. But yeah, so this is an example of something like that, and then durations due to let's see, but range. So hold on, what's this? Build duration. No. Minus range. So I think auto reach 30%, 45%. So yeah, for this build here, I do something like this. So therefore, I'm dealing with 235% power strength, 278% range. But again, this video is dedicated to my Omni build, but this is just an example of how I would adjust the situation. And I might even switch out some arcanes for this particular build. And then, of course, set out the loadout for it. And like I said, we'll change this. And then like right now, this would be a. Well, see, I'm just gonna put it ranged because I might not do the raffle. You know what I'm saying? Another helmet ability would be more beneficial for the point of this. So, you know, I'll adjust the name of that at some point accordingly to whatever it is that I may or may not do with that. I don't know. What would I have to kind of look at which one might be what's up. Now, 9 out of 10, I'm thinking that actually for this, like, roar might be good because of teammate aspects. The whisper could be good, you know, because it just benefits me, and then I can still use that void element too of extra damage. I mean, there are a lot of ways to kind of go with what I'm doing here, but like, you know, maybe even, you know, there's rebuild shields things, there's you know, Mirage's ability, there may be several aspects of things that could be more beneficial depending on the position I'm playing, whether it be solo in a group with a power strength range build to be effective. And depending on what's going on with the situation, you know, some of what I did with my power strength and range may need to be adjusted because I might not be able to use equipment. You know what I mean? So, and you know, but the thing is that, like I said, for this build here, keeping the enemies on lockdown, keeping them stunned with the radial blind is most effective. So 9 out of 10, I could either replace the Exalted Blade if I think I wasn't going to be using it, or slash dash. I mean, to me, because of the way I need to keep enemies locked down, I'd probably, you know, take out slash dash for this. But, you know, like I said, I'm just kind of quickly just doing this here just to example the point of an adjustment to the build for, you know, utilizing the Omniforma to maximize the potential of the situation. And I mean, just quick brainstorm on trying to deal with that circumstance that I just showed you. This isn't a bad way to go with the point. To have it set up like this with roar, radial howl to keep them locked down, you know, roar to just amplify everything, radial howl to keep them locked down. Plus 2 roar works well in a group situation if they're within range. That's the kicker. Like, depending on what's going on, it might not even be arranged to get the benefit of roar, but it does benefit you, you know, you as an individual really well too. Radial javelin to help keep them locked down and give damage, and Exalted Blade just in case. I don't know, because you know, you might be in a situation where you're only deployed, you got one weapon, you know, or you can only carry melee weapon, or you're just in some situation where it might be more beneficial to have the Exalted Blade. Might not be. Slash dash might be more helpful than that to for mobility if you know, you're not going to use the Tenno to sling around. And then of course with this build here, it might be more beneficial to have certain weapons in here to help with the circumstance. So, you know, that's the other thing that you'd want to keep in mind. So let me I'll title this Roar. And I'll change it, like I'll change this to Roar because I would know what it's for. So yeah, that's how I set up things like that when it comes to optional builds and things. So yeah, that will be highlighting another build. So yeah, this is pumping out 235% range, 278 on power sprint, and that would be pretty effective. And then depending on what's up, having a certain companion to help out everything might be more beneficial too, whether it's you know, some type of sentinel, moa, you know, something may be more beneficial rather than a Kavat or Kubro, depending on how you want to go with it. So yeah, I mean, death cubes tend to do a lot of damage, which is nasty. You know, one can go with whatever weapon they feel like, or you know, with it is going to be most beneficial for that. Is there? Hold on. Isn't there a Prime version of that? Yeah, Death Cube Prime. There it is. So, you know, all that would be part of the kit. Death Cube Prime skin is pretty cool. Boys Sentinel skin. But yeah, I Ortis. So yeah, I'll just leave this like this on the regular Death Cube Prime skin for right now, and play with that later in regard to my roleplay enjoyment. So yeah, let's go back to my, and I'm gonna quit my Vasca for this here, because like I said, the Vasca is real good for the transfusion here, where they'll give up part of their health to revive you, and it doesn't even count as a down when it happens, which is great. But you gotta keep an eye on the point of when you have it available again. But that can be really helpful, like in the various different measures where, you know, you have death penalties or in revive penalties, or you know, so yeah, very, very helpful. More so than like other sentinels in a way that they can revive you. The Kavat Vasca is excellent for that. So we did Void, we did that shoulder defense. Kind of failed with the interception, but you get the point of that. I mean, I'm not too worried about interceptions, because for the demonstration or for the provide footage for the build video that I'm going to put out, because most likely somebody's not going to be trying to do an interception solo. Most likely they're not. But yeah, we'll go ahead to step up the level of intensity with a bounty from here, and then probably wrap up the broadcast. Hopefully I've got some good stuff going on. Capture. So it'd be nice if we had something better here on this. And I could stay in the capture and just fight the enemies too. What is this? going to refresh itself. They used to give you a timer as to how long it's still going to be available. Assassination, survival, exterminate, capture. 205. Okay, we'll do her survival, and then maybe do this one. I think we can have enough time like that. And I definitely need to make sure I pay attention to what the bounty objective is, because that becomes kind of irritating for me when I'm sitting there going, okay, where's the exit? Oh, damn. I didn't do something with nuance for a bounty. And I can't get out. I'm not necessarily worried about the reward. Because for things like this, because I'm just sort of practicing and doing stuff and demonstrating things, but it can be annoying. So the bounty is destroy 5 automobiles. Okay, excellent. So that's easy. So yeah, we'll just hot rod it there, because I noticed that would be any delay.
It's kicking off.
Okay, so this isn't changing into something weird.
Did I forget to mention that the scrubbers are prone to spore buildup? That can spontaneously form a creature that'll absolutely bump your therapist up attacks bracket. Shoot off any buildup and you shouldn't have a problem.
If you wouldn't mind, pick us up a coffee while you're out.
How are they all attracted to this thing? Will it destroy?
Gonna need a medic.
Now, don't I have my Vasca equipped? Is my Vasca down? Okay, there we go.
Good.
So yeah, that's the benefit of the Vasca. And I'm still.
My code is working. Hell scrubbers
getting used to the tech rod 1999 enemies and the damage that they do, as well as the new enemy types, especially in a situation like this where I'm doing group play.
It's gonna get a bit tasty.
You can actually see how like the void energy is causing some of these other enemies to shoot at each other. It's interesting to being this friendly with staying in one spot like this.
Another health scrubber for regurgitation. Disgusting.
Stay down. There's enough.
But yeah, it's a lot different than the other one with the Technicoda virus scans you can get.
Zone is hot.
Or total weapons. You'll notice I'll put out a radial blind. before activating my
Contamination is off the charts. You need to hustle.
what do you call it? Dr. Whisper, just to be sure.
Right you are. There'll be tears before bedtime.
But yeah, definitely focusing on aiming to your Exalted Blade is important.
Help me!
Rather than just swinging. But you can tell that I'm not 100% focused, and like I said, that basket is just awesome. As long as you time things right, you don't take it, you know, don't rely on it too much or at all. Oh shit.
Well, Scaldra is distracted.
I think he
I'm
got
taking
me
the
at the wrong
opportunity
time. I
to
didn't have
make
enough
some
time for
new
my basket to rebuild,
acquisitions.
and
Like this.
I wasn't as focused
Don't
as I
worry,
needed
I'll
to be.
share. Distractions
But
over.
anyway,
But it wouldn't be very much fun if you left now.
so let's see. We'll try to go to a 10-minute mark. Try to see if I can have another opportunity
Knock
at
the pus sacks off that scrubber before they sprout ahead.
the Acolyte. Sometimes you can just let yourself take a little bit more damage just to get your energy level back up. If need be, sometimes they can act real kind of funny about wanting to attack you. Or because they're like, oh, the game has some smart logic. They go, oh, well, you know what? I could just let you run out of power, and that would help out the situation too. And you're defeating you. And you're like, how come I give me some damage for some energy? You're trying to get it from the hunter adrenaline.
Terminally unfun levels. Activate
All right, let me
another health
focus
scrubber.
But yeah, aiming allows you to definitely use the Exalted Blade from a distance. But what's nice is that Zaku's Whisper can be activated while moving, which is another reason why I really like using it more so than some of the other abilities that could be substituted for it. Not to say that all the other variations that you could use, like Eclipse or Roar, can't be done in some kind of way where you're still moving as well.
Watch yourself. It's dangerous out. They're on to us!
Health scrubber coming up near you.
Alright, where's the asshole with the green shit? There we go.
Ta-ta. Spore count is approaching terminally unfun levels. Activate another health scrubber. Got a minute to get a health scrubber working.
Nope. I thought I just activated it.
Head directly to extraction. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
You comfortable enough in there?
Amen.
You promise.
1 second. Okay, we got Mr. Acolyte that time. Bandito! Cazares as well. How you doing? Welcome, fellow Tenno. Welcome. Trying to give a little focused gameplay. Can take some questions after we...
Let's get to business.
Oh, wow. I am learning some new bad words on the Scaldra comms. Contamination is off the charts. You need to hustle.
Scratch one.
Oh shit. Got a little too happy.
I'm bleeding.
I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. But yeah, you got the point. You got the point here with this.
Get out of there.
Rest.
Kind of lost my flow. I was in it and then started thinking about something the wrong way. Huh?
Enemy in the area. Gotcha.
What the fuck?
Do something about that scrubber before it does something about you. Breathing easier? I wouldn't get used to it. I warned you. I totally warned you. And now, it wants to have a conversation.
God, that feels weird. Oh, bollocks.
Shit, I'm fucking up.
I'm down!
No revive yet?
Contact. Check 5s and 20s.
Yeah, I can't keep that up. So I'll run out of revives. And that's not a very good example of things. I almost feel like the Scaldra are a lot more tactically efficient than a lot of the other enemy types. I mean, like, more so than normal Grineer.
Give us a yell when you're ready.
What the f... What hit me? What hit me? See, that's the thing with the Scaldra. Like, I feel like I really need to get way more practice with the Scaldra and fighting them, because there's things that hit me that I still can't figure out. And that might have been the acolyte that just hit me. And I'm sitting here going, what was the damage that...
Finally caught a stream of yours that's actually live load.
Alright.
On your previous streams whilst at work.
I'm very happy to see you in chat too. Thank you, thank you.
Dropped him.
We've got a minute to get a health scrubber working.
Here we go.
Mind if I do?
Moving on.
Okay, what the heck is this thing made of? Trying to...
We appear to have angered the locals.
I don't know. Here's where I use my pox.
You need to hustle.
Already.
Try to put in some type of extra damage type. I'm kind of confused as to what is going on here with this particular enemy and why it's still alive after everything. Or is it finally dead? You sort of see a little interplay. I don't know about this work going on over there.
Man, game over. Get to extraction.
Oi! Took one in the side. Staple me up.
But yeah, I think this party's over. Because that thing is underground. Where the fuck is it?
Head directly to extraction. Do not pass go. Okay. Do not collect $200.
Hostile.
That's okay.
Engaging.
That's okay. A little warm up for these Scaldra. But let's see. You'll see the health regeneration from the Azure Tower Force kicking in as the health is being dropped. It's compensating for it without me going through a transference. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Magus Elevate that my drifter uses. Is this way out? Shit. They've added to this underground part very nicely. Whoa, shoot, that scared me. That's my alarm to let me know that we're getting near to the point where I need to close out the broadcast.
Oh, do not even start.
But yeah, like I say, if to me, it's still like if everything's on point, I know what's going on with the enemies.
You exist to strike. You strike to win.
I can do it. You know, and it's fun. It's intense. I like the intensity. I like the fact that, okay, I got to use all my abilities. I got to keep my mind aware of the environment. I have to.
I like your views on the game and how you have your own headcanon with your Tenno.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sense of imagination and creativity.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that compliment and recognizing that point. That, like I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed about the game. Thoroughly. And where you can make the experience your own and still be effective, still enjoy it, still play with others. I mean, certain aspects might not be like stellar bragging rights in the way that, you know, the community tend to, and actually just gaming in general with these multiplayers tend to lean on. But to me, if you can have the fun, truly have the fun, truly have the role play, and like I said, be effective, still add to the team play, run solo, accomplish various different goals, and of course leave yourself open to versatility. You know, pay attention to what others are doing, pay attention to what might be considered the latest, greatest, or hold up, I don't think
Agreed.
Right.
Frame truly is a player's sandbox.
Yes, exactly. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, especially with all the different modes, and you can take it as you will. You know what I'm saying? If your thing isn't, oh, I wanna because if you don't blast the build up fast enough, you're gonna learn what. You know, I don't feel like dealing with the intensity of Steel Path or whatever the end game may be, one way or the other. Like, you know what I mean? Don't get caught up in the drama. Don't get caught up in the who's who and what they do, because there are plenty of people who enjoy this game at a normal level and just love living out the true power fantasy. I don't know if you say true, depending on how you might look at it. Some people are like, well, you're not having true power fantasy unless you're beating the hardest enemies at the highest level, and you're just, you know, vaporizing. Yeah, well, you can enjoy the power fantasy at any level of the game.
Leave it out.
So yeah, there's a lot to be had. So kill enemies, take 8 enemies with finishers. So I gotta pay attention to that shit. Now I gotta pay attention to that shit.
It's working. Hell scrubbers are starting to emerge. Yeah, I've gotta hand it to the little guy. He knows how to talk to the appliances.
I'm not really seeing anybody asking for a finisher.
Good night.
Maybe I gotta reduce my power output on them so that they register a finisher attack. I mean, like I said, it's a nice challenge to have these objectives the way that they are, but at the same time, it can be like a pain because you're sitting there going, you know, really, I have to go through all that just to get an exit for this. I mean, I wouldn't mind it if the bounty objectives would like keep you from getting the bounty reward, but then still allows you to have your, you know, drops from the enemies that you defeated, but you just don't get the bounty reward. That would be nice. But then they have to go through whatever you're going through in the bounty, and then have to deal with setting up some shit for a finisher. You know, that's even worse than the objectives where you gotta find some little key to unlock some stupid box and still deal with the objectives. Like, I mean, it's an added layer of challenge. I mean, true, but.
Scrubber ready for you.
All right, let me not put the void energy on and see if I can get somebody's shit. So I'm trying to navigate this ignorant freaking. Okay, let me not do so much damage so I can get off a finisher shit. Hold on, let me worry about this at the end. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it. I see a fucking finisher, I'll do it. I miss out on my drops and the end thing. Fuck it. Because like really the purpose of this is to have the combat experience and to show the capabilities of the build. That happened to me last broadcast too. Like, I didn't do the objective before I ran out of time, and so therefore, even though I got the objective done, I still couldn't get out because I ran out of time or life support. Here comes Mr. Asshole. Get the shit on your situation. Yep, he shat on my situation. Did the wrong move at the wrong time. And I guess I was out of revive. So yeah. Yeah, that's a nice, I think personally it's a nice added challenge with the acolytes on the skill path thing. Although it can be a pain because like, you know what I'm saying, they always got to come out they're constantly coming out every certain amount of time, and it's like, yo, for real, can I just want to fight the enemies and enjoy the enemies. I'm not
hell scrubbers coming out of the rot. There's some stuff we might be interested in.
I'm not here to fight a bunch of fucking acolytes and their cheesy ass bullshit. I mean, because they are cheesy as fuck. But you know, you can typically get them, but they can be cheesy. I mean, especially when they're taking out your abilities and shit. Yeah, it adds a degree of challenge, but you're not just fighting a fucking acolyte. You're dealing with every goddamn thing else coming at you. You're dealing with the objective too at the same time. It's a nice challenge, you know, but it's a pain. It's a pain sometimes. It can be a real pain in the ass.
Here we go.
And I have yet to see this finisher shit. But yeah, when you activate the life support, it has a lot to do with it. A lot of people don't want you to activate it before a certain time. You know, generally, you know, depending on how you're managing it, depending on how friendly the enemies are being with dropping life support as you're defeating them, you know, getting around 20% is adequate. Some people prefer you wait longer. Some people prefer you wait sooner. You might want to communicate that with folks. And then also too, making sure your weapon.
Is total. There's no saving it now. Get out while you can.
What are you talking about? That is just always negative.
Get some rest. You must be chin strapped.
The finisher bounty gotta be the worst one.
Yeah.
For an Ash player, that's their dream bounty right there, low.
Oh really? Okay. I mean, I can typically see the finisher thing. You know, I got the radio blind joint going on, but like everything's dying in a way where I'm not seeing a finisher. Oh, here we go. There we go. There we go.
PPE strong enough to handle what you're breathing in. Extract now.
Shit.
Right you are.
Deal with that scrubber buildup. Stat.
Let's get to business. Scratch one.
Now you get to do things the hard way.
I like Letty, but I'm telling you, sometimes the way she be talking to me, bro, like, I'm like, yo, chill with all that attitude. You know what I'm saying? Just chill with that attitude.
Careful with the goods, mate.
Here comes another Mr. Ass.
Hostiles! Contain them before it's a ball of chalk.
Where is he? Where is he?
That's your loss.
Fuck. I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him. That's the thing too that will bug me out, man. Like, you can't.
A little too sassy.
Yeah. She gets, it's just like all this attitude. Like, yo, chill, lady. Like, I get you. But yeah, like that's sometimes with Warframe, like that. It wasn't always like this. Like, you know, when they changed some of the abilities and display of things, and then they went from more of a slower, methodical gameplay to this, I don't know, best thing I can explain it is like this clown car shit. Like, it's like this infinite spawn kind of situation where and clusterfuck the enemies in such a way that
could be worse.
You can't see what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason too why I keep my damage numbers typically smaller, so I can interpret and see what the hell is going on with the gameplay.
Dropped him.
Three more finishers.
Right. Who wants some?
I don't know if it's worth it to go all the way over there.
They're down.
Especially seeing I got everybody retained.
You're done.
60 seconds to critical. Activate a scrubber, set off some Spore X, or get the hell out of there.
Yeah, dude. Shit. God damn. They put this other scrubber way the fuck over here. Fucking A. Still need 3 more finishers. Second to lose. Yeah, this is a definite added challenge to these fucking survival missions.
I'm calling it. Nothing more you can do.
Rubber
Just
shit.
get out.
All right. ablutions, and maybe some mana. Danger cloaks! Fire!
Okay, now the I'm not even sure where this asshole is.
The game has definitely changed, that's for sure.
I'll check that in a second.
Stealth and somewhat tactical gameplay is pretty much non-existent nowadays.
Right, but that's because people aren't playing in a way for it to be so.
Man, they don't make PPE strong enough to handle what you're breathing in. Extract now.
Over to you. I'll be fine.
Oh shit! I thought that was a regular enemy. Son of a bitch! I was trying to get this last fucking finisher.
There'll be tears before bedtime.
Phew! Okay, excellent.
You can pull the ripcord whenever
I
you
thought
need
that
to.
was a regular enemy as the fucking acolyte standing right up my ass.
Got him.
That was funny. That was funny. That should be a meme. But yeah, okay. See, I'm running low on the scrubber shits. Acolyte. Yeah. Trying to make my way to this next scrubber. Is that a scrubber? God damn, what the fuck? Shit is ever in a way. You're joking.
Contamination is total. There's no saving it now. Get out while you can.
Target is down. I feel lighter already.
Can I make it to the 20-minute mark?
That bought you some time. You're welcome.
We shall see. I mean, overall, I feel like I'm doing better with it than I was doing yesterday, as far as dealing with everything. Because, like I said, I'm not accustomed to fighting with Scaldra with this kind of intensity or solo. And when I was enjoying the 1999 content when the phrase came out, you know, I was just enjoying it, you know what I'm saying? Doing some group play, running some missions, or, you know, folks wanted to join in and I do normal mode. That was cool. You know, I was in it for the enjoyment of the Kim chat system too, and just collecting the bounty Kim. I mean, like, and what's great is you can do all that without running on Steel Path, you know? But yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been meaning to want to do this, you know, for a minute. But, you know, the important thing is also, too, to become more familiar with the different enemy types and the damage that they're kicking out.
Jaffa, moving on.
Seconds to critical. Activate a scrubber, set off some Sporex, or get the hell out
But
of
yeah,
here.
like I said, I'm really looking forward to that Calls of Pox, because I find myself using Nat more so than I do my Natarok, just to get in just an extra set of damage. on the enemies. Just to help navigate the aspect of you know, taking them out when they've got some freaking weird overshield shit or whatever the fuck it is that they're doing. Yeah, I'm rocking out.
Stay down.
This damn acolytes have just been taking advantage of me the wrong way. Okay.
Eyes on.
Right, I'm putting down an extra shield thing just to help me navigate the situation with this bitch ass acolyte. There we go. Cause you know, it's like, I swear you can, I mean, like I like the fast pace of the game, but sometimes, actually a lot of times shit happens so fucking fast you don't see shit. You don't even see the enemy hardly. You can barely tell what the fuck is going on. I mean, that's the thing that I like when they brought back, you know, in Deviri, the more slower, methodical, you know, get to see actually what's going on gameplay in Deviri the way it used to be in Warframe altogether, which was cool.
We appear to have angered the locals.
But see, this to me is a lot more manageable than the other, I guess, Technocyte one, where I don't know, they just seem to act real fucking chinchy on the life support drops. But yeah, this is what I like doing. This is my thing right here. What you see,
you're done.
Using all the abilities. Still being effective in a you know, in-game type scenario. Yeah, I'm not going to take it to some hour, 2 hour level, hour, fuck 400, 500 enemies, but you know, I can set it up and build it that way, just the same as the next person could. I mean, it's you know, it's cool. But, you know, I like to have fun.
Engaging.
And this is one of the ways I like to do it, where I'm still effective. Oopsie. Okay, I think we need to possibly navigate.
Contamination is getting out of hand. Start holding your breath.
Oh, we got a little ways before we got to do that, Miss Sassy. Alright. I'm navigating through the clusterfuck. Ah, nah. Get the transfer out.
They're down.
I posted my idea of the transformer of a Warframe that can transform into vehicles into objects for stealth missions.
Oh, way cool. Great. Like I said, I would hit all the different paths for submitting the ideas if you got access to them, and it's all good, because you know, the more exposure, the better. Other people might decide to want to get on the ball and reinforce the point, and you never, you know, so yeah, hit it up. Excellent. Okay, so we passed the 20-minute mark. Yeah, we can go ahead and boogie. But yeah, we're looking like level 200, over 200 enemies. There's Mr. Asshole again. There we go, got him. I think. No, I didn't get him.
Warframe.
He's teleporting or some shit.
Bringing it a little close, no?
Got some nasty fucking shields. Where the fuck is he? He keep teleporting or some shit? Bitch ass. We got him. I think we're getting some good footage here. As you can see, like with this build, I can use all my abilities at whim. Without worrying about running out of juice.
60 seconds to critical. Activate a scrubber, set off some Spore X, or get the hell out of there.
Okay, we'll go ahead and hit the exit. Did this 25 minutes. Where is the exit? Okay, it's saying it's this way. Oh, this is some clusterfuck shit.
Do not even start.
Ah, come on now. Alright. Bastard came through. Which way do we go, George? I'm not worried about running out of air. Got the objective.
Hey, I need 20 cc's of fix your damn shit.
Yeah, I mean they've definitely improved. These definitely improved the objective. I'm assuming the waypoint aspect.
Spore contamination is getting out of hand. Start holding your breath.
Although it would be kind of helpful if you could throw down something that actually helped point you through the environment. But like I said, they've improved the point of where the waypoint navigates, is situated, and also to how it may adjust proceeding through the environment. That's the best thing, if they don't give you something that actually guides you through. But as long as they got it set up where that waypoint is adjusting as you proceed through the environment, then that's good. But yeah, that was a good experience for the most part. I felt like like I said, still getting my flow under me completely. But I think I got some good examples for the build video that I hope, want to put together. Well, not hope to, I will put together. Yeah. So definitely, if there's any questions, I can go ahead and take some now. And before I close things out, definitely good experience. Really happy to see people coming through and joining in on the broadcast. Thank you very much.
Your turn.
Yeah, I had to mute things for a second. My son will be 3 years old soon, and he was having a little fitty fit. Looks like either he's up from his nap or may want to have more of a nap. And look, we still got this issue. We still got this issue with the NPCs that move in up from the Hex not spawning in different locations. Eleanor should be here. Or here. Or somewhere in here. I've only seen her spawn here. But looking around, like, I don't see her anywhere. And I don't know, maybe it's their way of saying, oh, hey, they won't be here sometime, which is fine if they're not in the back room all, you know, every time you come through. Like, I'm totally cool with that. But they're supposed to be spawning in different locations. And I remember seeing them do like a build test or something, or show something about it, you know, this back room before it as actually released with the Tenno site. Yeah. The Tech Rock Coda, excuse me. Tenno site. Right. And the NPCs were in different locations. Well, at least I saw the NPC in one other location other than in the over by the side by the couch. So yeah, we're supposed to be able to see the NPC that moves in from the Hex either here, or I have seen an example of it here. And you would want to hope that there's other places within this back room where they appear, but I'm not seeing them. And also too, like, if they're not supposed to be here all the time, that's cool. But where are they? Why aren't they changing position? Because, like I say, Eleanor only appears here if she appears at all. We shall see. But yeah, definitely. I'll take some questions if anybody has any. And, but if not, it's all good. I mean, I like to hope that I definitely answered things well enough, and explained things well enough. And like I said, there will be a consolidated video, scripted, you know, providing some game footage that I captured today of the gameplay and demonstrating the builds in action,
please return.
as well as my capability with my strategies, tactics, and degree of skill. Like I said, I'm still gaining the proficiency I had before the 1999 content, but you know, to me, Excalibur and Exalted Blade are far more, you know, Umbra are far more powerful than they ever used to be. But then again, we're also dealing with a higher level and more difficult enemy in the way that the Scaldra and the Tech Rot enemies are. You know, definitely new mechanics, and like, which is great. You know, I don't mind the adjustment to it. You know, it's just gaining familiarity of the situation, and you know, the limitations I may have to, or as I've seen too, compensate for. So yeah, but yeah, definitely a thrill, and but this is how I like to enjoy the game. You know, I do enjoy the group play, don't get me wrong, that's all good, well and good, and enjoyable too, but this is what's up. To be the sword, yeah. And I forget, I probably could have went to some of the other customizations that I have too for him. Just was so much in the flow of getting everything squared away with the strategies of everything that I'm trying to do. But yeah, he's ready to don the robes when I'm ready for that. I'll probably go back to the normal Skidjati once I do this look, but you know,
the operator
a lot of options on how to trick them out. A lot of options.
Pressure creates diamonds, yes. but it also creates rubble.
Like I said, the Archon shards for everything come in handy. Like this, nothing that I know of is going to completely save your life, depending on what might hit you. So whatever one may decide to do, you still need some degree of strategy, skill, and tactic to get through it. You know, unless you're relying on others to do or compensate for some part of that. But you know, along with your pets and your gear, you know, these things should not be missed in the way that you utilize everything. Specters, health restores, you know, all that. And of course,
survivability and utility first always.
In my opinion, because if you're not, you can't survive, you have no utility. Like, you know, you could be the biggest, baddest, power output, what have you, but then if you can't stand up to fight, I'm not sure how much good that's going to be. You know, the people refer to it as the glass cannon. I get it, you know, but so many times I've seen that to be more of a detriment to the team, where the team is constantly trying to revive them, shield them, do something to keep them alive, to put out quote unquote said damage. And yeah, at the end of it, they got the most damage, but was it because we were busy navigating, saving their ass, or was it because they actually put out more damage? It's a little bit of both, but it's like, if I'm spending most of my time fucking reviving you, like, I'm not sure. Like, I just, you know, I mean, you got, you know, it's cool. You can have that 10-second wonder, you know what I'm saying? That's photogenic in their size and girth and length. I mean, that's all great. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. But, you know, I don't find it impressive. You know, if they can't, if they're not capable and you know, functionable, you know, it's the utility and function together. Similar to how I do everything in life. Myself, I play the game, the way I did my dojo, like, you know, having something grand that can't be sustained, doesn't have the efficiency, duration, can be all juicy, critted, reddit, all they want to be, but it's like, and you can have some element of survival woven into it. Does that work for all the situations? What happens when that ancient disruptor hits you? You know what I'm saying? And then all your energy is gone because you had something else in here besides arcane nullifier. You know, what's going to happen when you don't have an enemy to kill? You can't use gear. You know, then we've got a little bit of something for some health regeneration. You know, what if you can't get close to an enemy? If you decided to not have, you know, if you had Life Strike in here, most people wouldn't, because they're like, I want more damage. Okay, well, how are you going to return health? Oh, you have gear. You sure you have gear? Can you use gear? Oh, you want to rely on your teammates. Oh, okay. Well, then what if you can't use any of that? What if you don't have your teammates? Well, then, okay, I can put out some damage and recover health from a distance while I'm receiving damage from a distance from Hunter Adrenaline. Oh, but you don't want to put Hunter Adrenaline in because you want more damage. Oh, okay. Like, I mean, like, there's a give and take and a balance to me that should be respected. Now, is my equation the best for you? I wouldn't say so necessarily, because it depends on how you play, depends on your strategy, skill, and tactics, depends on what you want to do. You know, so you might sacrifice some element of duration and efficiency to have more power. Cool. I sacrificed enough, in my opinion, to utilize these two Archon shards to give me the power strength necessary to have an effective and efficient amount of status chance, guaranteeing me 100%. Giving me another additional 35% for a second status, because it's going to be based off of which number is the most here as far as which is 100. So I'm getting 100% status off a toxin, 35.2% chance for radiation to hit. But utilizing the advantage of condition overload and the extra damage, okay, I'm getting a guaranteed void proc damage from my Zada's Whisper for any weapon that I use, anything that I do, which is very beneficial in solo, beneficial if you're not in a group and you're not around them, because you got to worry about your affinity range for that shit. I can recast it whenever I want. I'm not limited to its duration. Huge advantage. Then it procs separately from the mods on my weapon, but then works off of whatever weapon status chance I have. So I have a guaranteed 100% void on top of that, adding to my damage condition overload. Then, because my toxin damage is getting 100%, I got a guaranteed corrosive damage from the continuity. Like, I know there's other ways to levy out more damage and shit like that, but to me, the versatility and the way I got this set up, to me, is peak. I mean, I love it. I fucking love it. And like I said, if my strategy and tactics are on point, highlighting the skill of what I understand and can implement to the game, it's a done deal, and I'm having fun doing it. I'm utilizing all the abilities. I'm not just spamming the Exalted Blade. I'm timing up my Exalted Whisper, utilizing the Radial Howl to inflict more damage too, if the enemies can be blind, which sometimes they can't be. Utilizing the slash dash in case I need a moment of respite, if I'm taking too much damage with my health, but more importantly, to close the gap and the distance, and to implement the aspects of knockdown and extra damage to the enemies. I mean, to me, I really like playing like this. I really do, because it also adds to my role play. Like I said, I like the Zata's Whisper. Like I said, I really like the way that it creates this infested look on my Excalibur, and I use this Nidus Noble stance as well, which to me highlights the sort of bestial element of Umbra in the Howl, and caters to the whole aspect of the what am I looking for here? The infested aspect of Zata's Whisper. So, like I said, I like it. And then plus 2, I'll use the Codex Standard right here, your Synthesis Standard. If you have a regular Codex Standard, equip that, and you can walk around like you don't have to hold a weapon. That's one of the things I like to do too. Just a little subtle tip to the role play. But to me, this shit is badass. The way it comes over his body, it's dope.
Over to you.
So, yeah, viewers, thank you again for viewing.
Nidus Idol is pretty nice. I like to use the Q animations on my infested fashions.
Yeah, a lot of folks hate it, but with me doing all black and the red, it works well. It works well. Got a little subtle Umbra arm guard on, because like I said, I'm still not sure if I'm going to go for the full Umbra look, because it covers up so much detail. But I swear I love the loincloth. This shit's that fire. I loved it when it came out, and I mean, but I like this look 100%. It just covers a lot of excellent detail that's there for the skin. And also too, when I do my
cavalry's on its way.
Ride the bike, I'll be honest with you, like, I'm a former biker. Take a look at my banner on the channel. Like this, I did this in real life. Looked like, as far as wearing my all black leathers and type motorcycle I rode, rocked it like this in real life. So I get to role play with this in game like this is just, oh. So, but the point is that to do the Umbra garb, or as they call it, prime details, even though he's not technically a prime, I can't get with, huh? Why did he change clothes all of a sudden? I can't get with the way the Umbra gear would. That's weird. Would get caught up, in my opinion, in the wheels, in the back wheels. But when I do the Atomic cycle, and you know, if I go with the Umbra prime details with the loin and everything like that, what I'm gonna do is use a different Atomic cycle skin, the one that's got the lotus joint. I just wish that they would kind of give us more of a luster to the skins on them, because they look so dull and raggedy. But now there's Eleanor. She's back.
This tongue has a mind of its own. I'm struggling to keep it in check over here.
You know, we can figure out something for it to do. But yeah, another thing too is that the spawn for her is off. Like, I'm thinking this is the attempt for her to be located somewhere else, but instead of being in the proper position here, she's standing here, or it's just off altogether. So sometimes I see her in the back room, sometimes I don't. But she's always over here and never anywhere else. So I hope that they get that together. But the thing is like I said, if I do the Umbra garb, like I said, as a former motorcyclist, and I mean, for 17 years I rode. Like,
it might be the decorations on the table conflicting with Eleanor spawning.
No, sir. No, my friend. No, Bandito.
I thought I heard
Bandito.
talk in a dev stream about Gemini autonomy.
You did? Oh, all right. 2 points. Cover that in a sec. Just as far as this atomic cycle, let me finish this thought here. If I do the Umbra garb mainstay, this is what I'm going to rock on the atomic cycle. See, and I don't have to worry about the loincloth or the scarf getting caught in the wheel, because that'd be straight, just yank your head straight off your shoulders. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, this will work when that happens, if I do that. But like I said, I like rocking this because it reminds me of how it was in real life, and there's no shame in the game with you know, author's details as is. It did. I mean, the skin is just beautiful, you know. So yeah, gorgeous. So yes, to those 2 points, Bandito, I would not think, unless
how many laws we're breaking just by being together.
The adjustments to the spawn has something to do with it, but prior to the Tech Rot Encore update.
Oh, I just burped and tasted pigeon.
Okay.
Ow, that was months ago.
Oh, that's nasty. Alright, we got some mouthwash for you. Either way, decorations on the table did not cause any issues. You know, nor did the way I hooked up this artwork here. All in reference to my Drifter and Eleanor's love. You know, got a little bed over here set up for their love. I am not a singer, nor am I trying to be, just being funny. But yes, Lady Eleanor.
I am most exquisitely bored.
You know, and my Drifter get to have some comfort in to their enjoyment.
Cubs.
And as the Drifter has said during my role play of it, Eleanor has some diabolical skills. But yes, so into the other phenomenal point, Dragonilgo, Dreamy, you said that you thought I heard them in a dev stream about the Gemini and autonomy.
Them spawning somewhere else randomly instead of the same place.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes, they do. And they showed an example of it during one of the broadcasts where right up there on the balcony up here, I I saw the Warframe hanging out, leaning over the railing, you know, just chilling. I mean, the Protoframe, just chilling out.
There's a whole world beyond Hong
right here.
I'll show you around if we ever get out of here.
But all I've been getting is this off position halfway into the wall, or where Eleanor or the other NPCs would actually stand, which is pretty much like right here. And you can see where the cue for the marker is in a proper place, but she isn't. So yeah, but I thought when you mentioned Protoframe autonomy, I thought they were going to be, like I said, I put out a suggestion for the point of the Protoframe autonomy to give us a cool little side quest. I mean, so that people have an option rather than it being a main quest, but where we actually achieve something for the Protoframes, or we go through something that bonds us with them as a whole, or just some type of quest that involves getting an optional aspect of autonomy for the Protoframes like we have for Umbra. Okay, that we can also too, and hopefully they add the element to our menu options here to turn on and off the autonomy if we achieve it. Say we might not want it for whatever reason for the role play, may not want it for the Protoframe you're using, may not want autonomy for even Umbra. It would be nice if we had a toggle for that. Okay, but you know, people were saying in the various different little videos I put out, they're like, oh, that's pay to win, because you know you have to buy the Protoframe skin in the market, and you know, that's going to be unbalanced, and you know, because you buy the skin and then you play a free to play quest to get the autonomy, is still catering to pay to win. I'm like, I hear you, but no, it's not really. I mean, matter of fact, if we had that for all the other Protoframes, not only would it make sense for them to move around with regard to the lore when we transfer from them, and by the way, they need to add them moving around when they're in these instances too, because it just don't look right. You know what I'm saying? Our pets can move around, right? Why can't the Protoframe? But to the point, we already have the element that they're complaining about in the game already. With the fact that when you buy the Arthur Gemini skin and emote, you play the sacrifice quest and get Umbra, who has autonomy. And you know, the other critical critique about it was that, oh, Umbra's special because of his autonomy. And it's like, no, he's not. I mean, yeah, he is, because he's a full Warframe, and he is, but the point of him being able to move around on his own isn't unique, because as long as the Warframe, as case in point, Protoframes, have some aspect of their humanity, they can still move around without an operator. And I mean, there's even evidence within the lore where they didn't have elements of the humanity and can still move around. You know, we played a sacrifice quest. The Warframe breaks war, and not sacrifice, excuse me, the second dream quest, and breaks the war weapon. Now that could be explained in various different ways too, but you get the point. Like, yes, it's excellent that Umbra has that distinct aspect of autonomy as a Warframe, but it makes complete and utter sense for all the Protoframes to have autonomy. So if DE milks this infinite cow, in my opinion, cash cow with the Protoframes, and eventually over time give us Protoframe skins for all of our Protoframes, our Warframes. And I've heard theories, people, you know, what is it, Quentin, I think it was, I forgot who mentioned an interesting theory in where Zaku could even have a Protoframe skin, because that to me is about the only one that might not be able to. But yeah, there's have an excellent theory for how Zaku could have a Protoframe skin, and when they coalesce themselves, they first.
That's like saying Volt is useless cause of Gauss.
Exactly. Like, or Ember because of Flare now. Like, no. But nevertheless, Yeah, Quentin. Yeah, so like to me, I was thinking about it like that's fantastic. Pitch that one too, because in the point of Zaku coalescing, there could be a Protoframe form, because in the stage of becoming a Warframe, they're human first. So like you said, there could be this human-esque, void energy-esque Warframe-ish that is considered a Protoframe before it fully becomes the Warframe of Zaku that you see. That would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal. So to me, to have Protoframes for all the skins, Warframes over time, right? And also too for them. Oh, my son is having a fit. Also too for them to have. Hold on for a second.
Imagine it will be a new type of Warframes, Phantom Frames.
Yeah, it would be beautiful. But like I said, to definitely ride it out all the way for us all to have Protoframe skins as our option for our roleplay enjoyment. Sorry, my wife is with him a lot. We're trying to work with him on his outbursts, and they said he won't be 3 till June, so it's a little tough for him mediating emotions, as all humans can, and it's a lot more difficult to use words than to just scream. And he did have the benefit of the emotional outburst and the outlet of whatever your emotion is through screaming. As people do in the bedroom and out. But in relationship to my son, it's an aspect of just trying to cope with his emotions, and it takes more work to use words, as well as he's still trying to figure out how gratifying and beneficial it is for people to understand you and whatever it is you would like and would not like. So I'm helping as best I can. We all are. He'll be all right. He'll get there. He's starting to, but he still has his moments. So yeah, like I said, have digital extremes, ride out the Protoframes concept for us all to have a Protoframe skin for our Warframes, so we could roleplay how we would like as our own option for it. Give us a side quest for them to have autonomy with a toggle in our options. Toggle the autonomy on or off, however we may like, as well as tie that to Umbra not having autonomy, because a lot of people don't like it. It would be stellar. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, because Warframe positions themselves as a role-playing multiplayer game, and they give it to us in spades, but let's have the full house. You know what I'm saying? Let's have the full house when it comes to, laying it out and every kind of way to win every aspect of the role-play game of things. And like I said, as far as Protoframes having autonomy through to me, a free-to-play side quest similar to Umbra, is not breaking the rules on things. It's just, and it's making it fair and balanced for all the other Warframes, because now they'll have their path.
Exciting year of Warframe. I just know they are cooking something up, beaming face with smiling eyes.
Yes, Bandito. Yes, I believe so too. I mean, when 1999 came out, they said this is the beginning of a new era, and so we're not just talking about the next year. We're talking about the next most likely 10 years. Okay, so yeah, they're in it to win it. They always have been. I look forward to them being the mainstay for another decade, the way they have been. I'm excited for it, and I think over this next 10 years, we're going to get, of course, 2 new Warframes each year, prime versions of everything, and hopefully Protoframe skins along the way, and be beautiful if they allow us to have that autonomy with that side quest. And because it's already in the game, the element of what people are bragging on, the point of Protoframes having autonomy. Like I said, we can already buy with money off of Protoframe skin. Then we can play for free the sacrifice quest and get Umbra. Put them together, you have a Protoframe with autonomy.
Oh yeah, for the Mermaid Octopus Warframe it will come with a pet crab when you complete the mission.
Yeah, that'll be cute. That'll be cute. Definitely.
Give us a when you're ready.
So yeah, so I would like to see everybody have this benefit of roleplay the way I have, where you can just chill and enjoy the game with your Protoframe like this in various different instances. And it should allow us food for our base of operations as well. Because like I said, don't make no sense that our pet can walk around. We got drones that can run around cleaning stuff, but our Protoframe is standing there like motionless. But yeah, to have this aspect, like I said, it's already the game. It's already has what people are acting funny about when it comes to this.
And off we go.
Pay to win or whatever fuck. But it's like, I ain't never seen no situation where Umbra's autonomy won me a damn thing in this game. To me, it's just a wonderful, nice little roleplay element that has a degree of capability in the game. But like, ain't nothing worth playing in this. I mean, in my opinion, unless you just having fun on some super easy level normal mode, that could be considered pay to win. Like, what the fuck? Like, do anything that you see me play in the game. You saw Umbra's autonomy didn't do shit. It didn't help for nothing. Every so often he might let out a radio howl, which might blind the enemy for a moment, but you ain't paying to win with this. Okay? Nor would anybody be paying to win if their Protoframe skin gave their Warframe autonomy. So to me, it's a very weak argument, though I get the point. I respect where they're coming from, but it's already here. You already have it. It's already unbalanced in the point of what I can do with my role play.
Protoframes, they should have been self-aware.
They are self-aware. They are. They are. It's just that they didn't add it straight into the game initially, because then it would be pay to win 100%. But if they add a side quest, which I have a feeling they will do, if they on par with this, and I'm putting out as much about this shit as possible, yo, everybody will have their opportunity to see this kind of shit and enjoy this for their role play and their gameplay experience. But it ain't no pay to win. It'll make the playing field level and balanced. People will get theirs in time, as we all have with the Warframes and the way they came out. Shit, I waited 3 years to get a prime version of Excalibur, which Umbra technically is, because I wasn't here when the founders had the opportunity to have Excalibur Prime. So I waited 3 years to get something that's considered a prime. All right? And there's other people that are going to be waiting years to get a prime version of their Warframe. So they'll go through a similar experience of what I did. It's cool, but they'll get the playing field balanced if they get a Protoframe skin, play that side quest, get the autonomy. Hopefully we have a toggle switch to turn it on and off for Umbra and the Protoframes if we don't want it to really give us the full option to our roleplay experience. It's a done deal. And I mean, of course, introduce Hayden Tenno as a playable Warframe that is in our arsenal. Not a skin, just like the regular Warframes and just as exclusive as that's interesting that that does that now. It didn't used to do that. Phase in and out like that. But bottom line is have
slip me on like a body bag, why don't you?
Not quite. But yeah, that line caters to Quentin, your idea with having a human in a Warframe suit that it puts on or has to have on, like a body bag, but the thing of it is, it's hollow, it's empty. The Warframe, the human that once was in it is gone, and the shell of it is being used for the human. That would be dope to have one of those in our arsenal. But like I said, in line with all that is to have a Hayden Tenno Protoframe in our arsenal that is a playable Protoframe, and that is achieved through a quest, side quest, main quest, to me either one. Side quest may be in case people don't want to have it for whatever the reason in their roleplay, but or they feel like it's not canon enough for the game. But to me, I think it is, especially if they roll it out right, where we are rewarded a Hate and Tenno Protoframe in our arsenal the same way we were rewarded Umbra. Okay, because it's not something that you would build, like Umbra was not built. You find them. So yeah, that would be absolutely phenomenal to have Hate and Tenno, and to bridge the name, his surname of Tenno, to our Tenno ways. Have him with an exalted glaive, have 3 abilities that augment his weapons, himself, and the exalted glaive, where they come from in some combination of the Tenno, the schools of thought, the Tenno ways. So one would have maybe a combination of Naramon and Zeneric. Another one would have combination Yunaru and Vazarin, and maybe the third one would be completely Matarai in some way, shape, or form, or Matarai Yunaro. Like, however they might decide to recombinate these ways within the schools of thought to give us 3 abilities which augment, one would augment Hate and Tenno, one would augment the weapons, and then maybe one would also to augment everything else, as well as, say, teammates or companions. I don't know. There's a lot of ways to
will make us fight space aliens.
However they recombinate the abilities would be just excellent. You know what? DE has a rather humanesque quality to their concepts, whereas we're all we know within the universe as far as a human is concerned, or a humanoid. The void entity, considered the so-called indifference, aka Wally, the man on the wall, like, that's as close as an alien we get. And then you have the sentients, which are sentient AIs in the way of themselves, being somewhat of an alien aspect because they left our system and went to Tau. So yeah, I mean they could go to aliens. I wouldn't be no shame in the game to me. I'd be all for it. I wouldn't knock it one bit. But the way Digital Extremes has done what they've done and incorporated the concepts and ideas into the game that they have, there's no need. The Warframes themselves are alien enough. The Sentients in the way that they are alien enough. The Lotus in her way of herself is alien enough. Deviri, and even its inhabitants in the way of the Orokin and the way that they've mutated themselves, and the queens of the Grineer, all of it is alien enough. But again, to have a completely other life form beyond what we deal with as far as Wally's concerned, the indifference, man in the wall, yeah, would be great. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the point. Like, they don't need it. Their creativity, the diversity, and the extent to which humanity.
I'd love to see Bionicles meet the Warframes.
Right. Well, yeah, with Warframe's eternalism theory, they can bring anything they want into it if they get the rights to lend to these other concepts that are out there. They can bring anything they want into the game. Because it's about the potential possibility of it. So it's always yes and not a no. So, yeah, pitch it to them, man. Pitch it to them, my fellow Tenno. See what they think. But I definitely hit them up first with your ideas, which incorporate directly Warframe's ideas and concepts, because I think they lend themselves to that more directly far sooner. But, Warframe, Digital Extremes, I can't imagine why they wouldn't want this to stay and become one of the longest reigning multiplayer online experiences that could exist. So to help that existence carry itself out, to bring in other games, other concepts through anime.
The guy who ran the Warframe isn't a human. They look like human, but they are super alien.
Right. I get you. Yeah. Well, like I said, initially, pitch it as them being a human. Put in there, though, if DE, if you go to the point of being, having aliens and this concept hasn't been introduced yet, by that time, introduce him as some type of alien that would incorporate 100% my concept. Put it in there. Put it in your pitch to them, something like that. And then also to make sure you state that, hey, I'd rather have this concept implemented rather than not. So if he's a human with this Warframe shell over him, or hide, so to speak, that still gives him Warframe abilities in the way that he's utilized some technology, do some homework, figure out something nice and plausible, some Entrati shit, whatever, he can make it happen. And if your true backstory involves him using some alien technology, make that part of your pitch for, like, if you do aliens, this is how you could implement it. So, just structure it well, lay it out well so it's easy to follow, and, make it hopefully as concise as possible. But they'll like it. I'd like to think they will. Like I said, the way DE takes fable, myth, lore, legend, all aspects of sci-fi genres, you name it, whether it's anime, comic, movie, doesn't matter, as well as religion throughout humanity's history, it's off the chain what they do to make it their own. As well as they don't shy away from other video game concepts in what they do. So
there we are.
Yeah, I mean, to me, because of Warframe's eternalism theory and the way and the care that they give to the direction of things, and also to the care and direction they give to the individuals they bring on board to further ideas and to further the lifespan of the game, and then also too, without, to me, the aspects of greed, though they've had moments where they've had to work on things and rein it back, but the respect of us as a community and their morality of the point, even with the notion of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Like, saying they're not going to do what they did with the
don't go too far off,
the heirloom skins anymore. You know what I mean? There's not going to be another situation where you can only get a Prime Warframe like Excalibur Prime because you invested into it, the situation. They're not so. And then there's been other elements within the game they pull back on, like, that was too egregious. Yeah, we need to make money, but not that way. You know what I mean? They don't monetize the YouTube channel. They it's just a lot of little things. Like, even when it comes to the music, there's no copyrights to the music. So you want to play the music in your game, experience and broadcast it, feel free to do so. You're not going to get jacked up with some copyright shit. It's beautiful. I love it. I love what they do. I'm mad behind it. I'd like to pitch myself as a Warframe content provider with them. I'm waiting for the channel to become a partner with the channel, or at least get to the midpoint. But I really would like to be a partner with YouTube before I bring that to them. But I might bring it to them sooner. I mean, because there's this sort of midpoint, but it's really not. But there's a point where I'm about to approach in about another 50 watch hours, where I have enough subscribers to have members and to have supers with the chats, to offer some merchandise with the whole what did you think, what did you do, what did you enjoy. There's going to be some cool fun shit with that I can put out too for people to enjoy, if they like to support the channel with that, and represent themselves, or pose the query to people in various different ways. What did you enjoy? Maybe have a little something like that, a little patch on the back of your jeans, or over your heart maybe, or what did you love? Just little things like that was going to be cute for me to do. So I'm looking forward to enjoying that. And like I said, what's great is that having a YouTube channel
sounds amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And like I said, it's all about sharing experience with you all, the viewers, and preserving this experience, you know, that I have and with others, which started all this, and what I would like to continue. And so yeah, having that as sort of say my niche or authenticity to the gaming that I bring to the table, as well as I like to write poetry and put some cool titles and things to some of the things I do, and the passion I like having with roleplay and the way I roleplay. Yeah, I mean, that's what's up on the channel. So, you know, there'll be other cool games, other cool experiences too. Warframe, with what they've done, I mean, it's when I change my little promo video for the channel, Warframe probably is going to be, like, the way I feel about it now, my mainstay as far as the primary content I'll put out. But, you know, I definitely still love, you know, Insomniac Spider-Man, mad awesome. You know, I enjoyed the first Ascended 2, although Nexon's a little questionable with some of the things they got going on there, so we'll see how that goes. You know, there'll be other games that'll come out, you know, in time that will be exciting.
Imagine if we get an Invincible game.
Yes, I believe they're working on the point, but they need to do it right. Don't half-ass it. You know what I'm saying? They need to do it 100% right. Don't make it cheesy. Make it hard. Make it dark. Make it gritty. You know what I'm saying? Make it tangible. Don't make it cheesy. Don't dumb it down. Don't kitty it up. It needs to look strong, visceral, tactile. You want to see the characters like you see in Warframe or Metal Gear. You know what I'm saying? You want to see them hard. I mean, take it to that level, not Batman Arkham, which is nice. You know what I'm saying? That's cool, but take it to the hard. Take it to that next level. That would be the shit, in my opinion. But yeah, the Invincible game would be dope. No doubt. All the way. I mean, the environments can be bright or sunny depending on what's going on, but keep it true to form in the way that they brought it to life in the animation. Keep it true to form. But yeah, so, you know, there'll be other games like, Death Stranding 2 is coming out soon, and, you know, so, you know, I'll enjoy some other things as time permits. But the way I'm enjoying Warframe yet again, the revival of my passion with it, you know, Warframe.
The animation is just an adaptation beginning a new kind of storyline that isn't in the comic books.
Right. That's what I understand that. Yeah, I like I said, saw some information about the storyline of the comic, how it actually evolves to some super distant future end. Mad cool. But I mean, to me, it's hard. I really appreciate what they've done with the animation, because it's kind of cool to give you a slightly different version of things, but still true to form and heart of the original. That's where you can have, you know, the most enjoyment with the concepts. So yeah, again, thank you all for viewing and coming through. I mean, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully this has been informative, and like I said, it's provided some good footage for the video that I want to put out for the actual, you know, scripted, detailed layout explanation, so people can reference and go, oh, okay, I got everything right here. This is how you put a build like this together. This is the reason why this and that's used in this particular way, and this is how it's going to benefit you, and this is how you put it all together. And of course, you know, it leaves it open for anybody to adjust any particular factor that they may want, if it suits them and if it works for them. But like I said, everything has been methodically placed and laid out and well thought out as best I can, to have everything come together the way it does. And like I said, with the Zaku Whisper, that's the only ability that plays off of the Chromatic Blade and Condition Overload in such a way that I know of at the moment, because Roar doesn't do that. Mirage's Eclipse ability doesn't do that. Like this, so depends on how you want to roll with it. Depends on what benefit of things you see. To, like, again, the Zaku Whisper adds to my role play. So, you know, as well as enhances all my other weapons when I use them. So it rocks all the way around. But yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, like I said, I'll put that video together where it's all scripted for this build and loadout offline, and it'll be up in the next week or so. Like I said, but my priority right now is some heavy life journey changes going on, and my son, even before that, you know, so yeah, it's you know, I'm a stay-at-home dad for him, and it's been an honor and a privilege to do that as well. It's a beautiful thing.
It's been a great stream.
Thank you, Bendito.
Dropped by for once. Bill, stay tuned for that build video and upcoming stuff from you. Thumbs up.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Like I said, yeah, that build video won't be a live broadcast, but it'll be upload because, like I said, I want to script it out, have everything consolidate, make it as short as possible. You know, because people, when they come to reference those kind of videos, they're like, get to the point. Doing it's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna get to the point. I respect your time. I get it, and I can be a little long-winded, but it's more often than not, it's because I want to make sure all the bases are covered and what I've said is well explained and to the point and understood, you know, without question to it. So, but yeah, I'll do my best to keep it consolidated and to the point and organized for people to follow. And I'm going to apply some timestamps to this over the next couple of days. I'll initially get up a couple of, you know, major timestamps as best I can before I might not have time to even do that right now before I take over with my son. But yeah, sometime, you know, after I put him to sleep tonight, I'll probably add a few more. But timestamps will come with this video as well to help navigate things, as I like to do with almost all my videos. And as time permits, I'll go back and add others. Day. Yes, you too, Quentin. Thank you all for joining here. Bandito, Quentin. Thank you very much, fellow Tenno, for coming through. And we had a few other folks. Dragonilgo, who's a new clan member as well. Crypto, he stopped through, or they stopped through rather. So yes, thank you all very much. It's been beautiful. It really has. And I'll take us to the profile screen, let them do their spin around, and close it out from there. But yes.
Great stream. Good luck with the family and best wise A's.
Thank you so much. Take care,
y'all.
Yes, you all too. Thank you all, fellow Tenno. Thank you. And yeah, so take care, everyone. Thank you for viewing and enjoy.
Be a nickel.
Right on.
Thank you for viewing and enjoy.